NPP for Anshaye. No Kasa. Yabobia Samoa, you have to be careful. I guess I'll bring the party down complete. If I bring the video, let's open your gun and Ibakupe at Wabamaya. What Anas did, as far back as 8th of February 2018, Anas as setting a ministers in
Yeni Unity Radio and Kabomu Ye.
Mayawada, as I meeting from. I think just say from nowhere. I feel the Encotia and got to say Gabi or Chida, I can only meeting as I see radio. So I don't know because no.
Who chairman now Pesoya finance minister.
I don't know, a dear prophet in the brainy.
So Pesoya finance minister.
Many finance minister.
Maybe I'll go read the first budget. I out there.
Oh, we are card in Boom, not up to
that Lumba and ye, a Semiba America, USA, Minyaba B and TSA Unity Radio.
I never members and met to cry and say, a Kufra the buy or Bedada Ghana for Unyakupo in Pengu. Members and Meba Bedada Ghana for that. You hear for Ghana. You hear for Ghana, she said you answer. If you are born in Amalabanesa, you this is a pie Sika war memo, your baby to say Sikano, I'm happy to appreciate Aboyena.
Where your big Joe Fraser, y'all, meet say Unity Radio.
This is why we got into the IMF. You were spending too much relative to revenues, which is true. You were borrowing too much, which is true. Your external payments position has deteriorated, which is true. And so you ended up, your growth is reducing, which is true. So you ended up at the IMF, and the IMF would impose certain conditions, which is true. And if you don't do certain things right, the anchor will not hold, which is true. So I'm not quite sure what it is that is not true that I said, but I think unfortunately the supporters of this government and this government itself are very reluctant to admit the truth even when it hits them in the face. Yeah.
Sure, thank you about that.
Unity Radio, Edikan for great ye.
I say human assam na yeka new patriotic party programs are ye dear guhono ebedu baby no ye be crank of fiama no ne no modo ye djuma o Ghana.
Unity Radio, Edikan for great ye.
Honorable Chair, Majority Leader. Yes, I hear you, Mr. Speaker. Your powers have not reached that. Mr. Speaker, I agree with you. Honorable Majority Leader. Yes, Mr. Speaker. Resume your seat. I will. Take this on board. Don't relax it. Don't relax the rules. You don't lead Parliament. You lead the business of the House. As to the role of the Speaker, you haven't reached there yet. When you get there, you do so. A majority leader is a leader of the House. I stated it. Thank you very much. I stated it. But you are not the leader of the Speaker. At least I have a position in Ghana. Number 3. Your number 3 is not in government. No, I didn't say in government. I said in the country. That is what is your position in the country?
Yeni edamuno. Who start bonten so? Obieti Unity Radio.
Ezu. Yaba. Omo amochi omo galamse no. Omo atu omumu. Yaba ma omo amnesty no omo asaba. Ezu. Lojidi se emrebia omo fomie omo enu omo ho enti yebe yi omo na yama omo another chance.
Yeni edamuno. Who start bonten so? Obieti Unity Radio.
Now, in all the figures that were mentioned as the valid broadcast and all those things, you were saying if the figures were correct, and that there were inconsistencies in the figures. I want to ask you, now, in your own calculation, what were the total valid votes cast in the presidential elections on 7 December 2020? In your own calculations. My Lord, those calculations are reserved for a meeting for us to reconcile the figures, because the first respondent herself keeps changing the figures. And so it says, when you bring your...
Excuse me, just look at here. Help the court. You see, when you started giving evidence, you said you had all the representatives across the 275 constituencies. You said you put agents as, to use the... Yes, and they were to, coordinate the figures. You said it. Then he's asking you that from that, what figure did you get? You.
My Lord, I haven't brought that figure to court. Okay. Then, from your own calculations, what were the valid votes cast in favor of the petitioner? To your knowledge. My Lord, when we discovered this discrepancy, it was difficult to even know which figures are. You don't know. You just answer. You don't know. I don't have them here. Okay. Then the last one. What figures from your own calculations did the second respondent get as the total valid votes cast in his favor? My Lord, I don't have those figures here. Thank you. That's all.
Achinkwana na minumbre muni adehye odi ahenkan kwa meyeboa me na da sem wo US nko ade a eye Unity Radio ye tiara hu.
Now we should be bold to criticize what you have said. Because NDC for that man was going to be sure you are Gini. I don't know what argument in your available. What? That they you generally, Mama history. NDC, why no much issue from Ashanti region to a presidential candidate and now vice presidential candidate? I didn't think I'm more there. If you have more Kasa and a more target, and a way of Northern, and a way a fancy, and a way a king, and a way and crime. Rubbish. They don't have the party. Anybody who is competent that can lead the party, irrespective of where you come from, who will vote for. Who will vote for you? Non-MC. And this is what we have to do. They also choose either Northern or Botelian. I don't think any of them the party, the NDC for party, or Northerners or Botelian.
Who say man no day? Man day ankasa. Unity Radio. Yabane yaba. Ba yawa.
Me shambo amintumindiso. Me call Rupia Mukosa Bankese Mutua, the Babati Petrol so, who do also an petrol bois and a cosso. The Babati near my soul is a Bama Yafo. There's one brass of grad in Yafo there, one. And then only cake once a year.
Hey, Unity, oh, Unity, and Kabum Kwa.
NDC voted in Ghana. Samia, me pay Juma, am I a mighty near Mabawano? Neba be chankan and Zemo. No crab bako any more crack. And yet no crane, and yet no crane oxa. I'm drop and NDC voted.
Isaac K. Benye, Media Unity Radio. Unity Radio 103.9. Unity Radio Moyo Pabne.
The year the city has appreciated in value. When we came in, it was running. Essentially, we have arrested it. and the IGP has the keys. He's locked it up. We've arrested.
Behuru bebre, ebehim bebre, amanfo be tonton sansan. Nanso men kan na da. Upe asenim chiremu dia. Eno ani Unity Radio.
Let me respond briefly to the chairperson on the issue of illegal mining. I want to assure him and all of you that Akonta Mining is not engaged in any illegal mining anywhere in Ghana as we speak. Further, the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources has, through the agency of the Forestry Commission,
just your boy J Stone, live on Unity Radio.
We don't have to borrow money from anywhere. Just toll the various sections of the road and we'll raise the money to do the roads in Ghana.
Unity Radio, me love to the max, yeah.
I am a boy Ghana. It is Sikaso, or may you hear my Nenam a memoir enquayetino. A come there.
Ghana way yadin sam panam en kabomuye anunti ubetie Unity Radio eyen kabomu kwa
Elizato. Stupidity is when you have a beautiful wife and kids at home and still receiving insult from a small girl called your side chick. Elizato. Your wife will be naked, she won't look sexy to you. But ordinary bra of a strange girl, you'll be shouting wow wow like ambulance. Man, what's really the color of your problem? Elizato. It is only in Africa women respect men of God more than their husbands. Elizato. Sometimes your ex asks you money just to see if you are still in the same situation she left you in. Elizato. It is better to be a lonely lion than a popular sheep. Elizato. If your brother is so generous to your family after marriage, thank his wife. Elizato. The fact that all birds can fly does not mean that every bird have equal feathers. Elizato. Rumors are carried by enemies, spread by ignorant and accepted by fools. Elizato. Never judge someone based on a season. One season David was a shepherd, the next season he was a king. One season Ruth was working in the field, the next season she was owning the same field. One season Mordecai was sitting outside the king's palace, the next season he was inside the palace. We serve God who turns things around, God of unmerited favor. Elizato. Being dumped by a broke man is like being discharged from the hospital. Elizato. If you want respect in life, make money. Nobody is interested in your age. Elizato. Every man thinks every woman's dream is to find the perfect man. Please, every woman's dream is to eat without getting fat. Elizato. Whenever I see a snake on TV, I immediately switch the TV off. I hate it. That reminds me of my ex. Elizato. My brother, hustle so that you wouldn't come and wait for your children to sleep before you touch your wife. Elizato. Dating a Jehovah's Witness is pure gold. No Valentine, no Christmas, no birthday. You will only buy hair, umbrella, and sandals. Elizato. Thank you very much, my brother. Elizato. Thank you very much, my brother.
Sungovodia menadao yadigana bepiemu abrochire upensem a ekoso afisem a upensem a ekoso Ghana ene onua babia obetia ne Unity Radio yekuram se twe
Wow, stop. Masha, ho, but nobody say ma was so na mo fit one ma ba bet na.
Oh, stop me ya dai. Asema na boka kan. So na mo dia.
Ma bia ma.
Ya bo bia ma. Also man bo. Asema na boka kan. So David, ani mo so ya wa to.
Yo kan ko.
Ani me ko.
O bo sha mo me show.
Me ko.
So I will trim. What about you dey be mu? What na tie ntia mo bi mama.
E mo we ni mo na mama. Yo me you don't be a mama. You don't be a mama. What you blue?
Mam eba na say
me kwa toilet ne so bla ye toilet bia ne krom ha say ana me se me kwa toilet ne so me dua na blaze su ne ba me koto pa ho no so ba kan ha wona ye adan sa toilet de bia ne me ma koto so na ba ma su ni mo toilet krom ha say kwa kaka kan nyina toilet ene e fan ya wo hoyi e ma ne me nyina ne toilet ba ko so me koto ya na so ba koto me nchen adan nchen na yesa e ka me ne ko sa toilet ko no
ah dia je se me koto toilet ne so me so afo so de me
Oh, a bass I'm so many a day, or some sort of tranche, number so many. And I'm going to enjoy on who was Adam to me Basso. Don't say about me, minimum home. Between Musa, or what goes or banners as in Jay. So what is happening to us any?
Never a drew baby and man almost said that, and I move the man and Quana Mukosubi and
that be. Oh, and the toilet to be a careful. Do book have an Albanese so. Not also toilet do. What do you mean? No, say they all go to be.
Will be a toilet to do what the other now idea cost on this and toilet to do.
Ah, toilet to the Mamma Guaguania. Oh, careful. Toilet, yes, we would careful. Near Tarrant Jensen. And do book have an Albanese way. Yes, I'm a cremane hammer. A man, hey. What is your toilet to see about a fine young company? Oh, no basis or basis or the message so. So what does indeed? And you won't go there, and you know me, and you boom. Come to the Bessie. Abandon to my Mississippi, and you know, Manisa
Unity Radio, and the Camphor Crate, ye.
For all the latest news, sports, politics, entertainment, health, traffic, weather, and more, listen to Unity Morning with Opo National, the only morning show you need. Now.
Asampayetia Obanyansa fuso obunuye wonka na asam Tema futu sam kakre wa supreme Yo kofi Omani ya woman Omani ya mamana Bini baby ako Wachata ya wareni Wonsom wanini pa Nasadi pa wofe oye Yama yembera ye Ebe ya ifu yama Oma ya umano Oma ya mamana Ati waya nora Yami chata Yemana renya Wonso wanyinyi pa Sawa ya wanabe Yama yembera ye Ebe ya ifu yama Wonso wanyinyi pa Asadipa ofioyo Emo yambura ye Ebe ya efiyana Amabe ya efiyana Asite be ya efiyana Oh Ama
Yabema obi bia chim obi bia akwaba Aya Unity Radio 103.9 Anopa Bosuo Emenadu Efisa mrese ko bon no don kudie Sena musi nimse yende bia no Yade awakanse munse meba sporting update weather update na fe ye kofie ne nsema edi adenteche nsema ekoso political arena no politicians no no mo moye nya ebeka nsema ofia now see in the biano Friday there yana free stylish Friday and ye jago the fair angle baby bia na say baby ay kama but your mom here Facebook on the person mo yan say wo hwe no like it na fe wa comment no wa share one dey say you know wo hwe mo hwe no site tie wo like it video no na wa comment no wa share wo comment ba ye be kan bibia ho ama na so ho ato
Nipa ya zefoa enuanu Afanya misronya juma na nyami besra
juma die mi amedi hu chiame me efem King Kalusha meni minua Manicho Magadi me pem ho asem Mr. Masa Jesus ono so be kan me ho ne ya see you Opo National ono na konja mu na metia medi mensem na Anopa yi ono so mbeti nka ene okasa efidikese iso ewo hazi Ghana for ya mutie no ya na ye hu wa ye efe pass mutie na mo san frɛ na mo contribute ma program ye success every day bia no ya da mase not forgetting Worcester mo Worcester so the bia mo fidie no eda Worcester first Unity Radio 103.9 eso amutie na mo so fe na mo comment enya ajekumesa bebi a obi ha na no pay me chia yete o ka che na say that uka utu kan na ya me yete o ka bo enti ye ka say mo wo Lincoln Village a ya na mo complain say mo nya Unity Radio no mpacho ade abakwa ba ko we ya okoto lesser play Unity Radio Worcester na dem kama enti say we FM number say radio no team member nya on Twitter Facebook we do lesser command Alexa play Unity Radio Worcester mo say na bibia dem na kama enti o made be ya o enye yo efimi me ne o say ye bebo mo man asi apiasita bibia na politicians ye na se nkoya esori na akasa na ye tuye na omane tumi afa de tuma pa afra enti omane be yo enye yo efimi me ne o so se ye behwe na bibia tumi akoso na me kam se adwuma ko ya didi so na mo aso ya se ne de na Anopa dwumadi de bro Anachikrom restaurant Asamas Trading Dan Auto Repairs Dr. Kwabi Scientific Hair Care Gold Coast Credit Services and Restaurant Kumasi Market Anochi Trading Lemonade Finance Paula Mantem Ochade Gavo and a Dream Africa Market or 369 Benko Street and afi Oba Sally Homcho omuna aso yasin ema yede Anopa dwumadi ebro we fie mu na ososo wotumi ache wadwen na bibia atumi akonkan asampayetia obayansafo so obunuya wanka na asam National Cathedral sesem egusu ekoso na there has been a twist Joyce Ayi kan semi iba akokotie ni na but they be say see no me call weather report na me come weather report no na fe me wia na ye de okasie ahun sesem no atumi atoaso na fe ye wia akokasie ni sem na the politics no and so abebeto am so edu aka 30 minutes abo one no e be phone lines no na so wa che wadwen na bibia atumi akọ ene Friday freestyle Friday and weather report no and weather no be you pa say me ba fifie cry ba no ice any so afra and eto ice ni so afra and eto emu onyu kakra and the maximum weather no 33 and a minimum no 26 maximum 33 and a minimum no 26 in pacho okwa no wa hye hye hoye less bia opebia hye na kodu be bi na say o show diwa na wayi ebi ato na say na de aka na akọ na de be yan say why share on light na kodu be na we na drop ya na afi awodio na ho puchecheche na hu de onyo hu pacho be hia say obetumi a share less bebremum na kodu be na say o show diwa obetumi ayibi na oso ho ato the weather report no Asamas Trading and I saw you sing ma yede weather report no bro Asamas Trading 1084 Main Street Africa Market nua ni bia opebia no okwa onya bi ato ho na okoso na auto no man na bro $150 Asamas e de bebro na oso wetumi ayede say me da weekend ni bedu person kwa mu yeda ehwa na so koduja bibibia de okwa bibibia no Asamas ewubi na okwa wakoduja na bibia tumi akọ once again 1084 Main Street mo so asing ma yede weather report ebro enche yebekọ ahomane so na yakofa opo say on this sport update ni Ibrahim dan sana yebekọ no time man you video fira ebe be bazia
sikanye bredo wafa timpawo yes na winya nyamishira
oh yasan ba machi amakwa ba kese san ba afidike so Unity Radio 103.9 ya medu say e call akensie no so na omo so ya sen ede dwumadi ebe no Anochikrom restaurant o bebi mienu 687 Maple Street and bako 21 Level Street and 2 Coast Square na kwa African authentic food bia pebia no benya biadi wache mutu say bibia obenya biadi na ope bibi so ato amonu ato bia de no crop star bibia okwa betuma ko didi inside and I person take out so but me take out na bibia to me akonkan and say o person we take out our 687 na Member Street na first anomaly 508-753-8471 508-753-8471 and now person take out Member Street with 21 11 Street and 2 Co Square off Park Avenue so and also with my friend 508-762-9991 o froma no ado dey na bibia to me akonkan am Dan auto repairs so I sing say Infa Sporting News Infa bro and now no paying Dan Auto 61 Fremont Street I can now 45 Fremont Street the same building now by so okonanim kakra and 61 Fremont Street and mo fi Canterbridge and Cambridge Street ni ba no mo ba 61 no Sanifa so was a gate bi e won anim ansana okokudu old place no obekona masana so ne bo foyi ka bia awon teach me bia no o de ba masana so ne ne bo foyi o mehwe no ma repair ama na bibia tumi akonkan mo amusu fi Hope Cemetery any Main Street so ba no so mo ba wo pa bibia no wo na left hand side no ko nim kakra bon na o mo left hand side gate in left hand side 61 Fremont Street kabia wa tutuma routine maintenance and a routine oil change na ba be am o break any shocks and obi bia say a obama sadan so a obehwe na otumi aye bibia am frema sadan so was number 508-335-2667 508-335-2667 na afi bra na on report card man na aka no entumi enja so Minapo, what do you mean? I'm watching my Kwaba, Caseba, you do so. Opo, National, also what do you mean? Member watching my Kwaba, you do so.
King Kalisha, me talk, I made you so.
My mom say,
I'm a listening chairman.
Yo.
I was saying, can just say what that's and then could see you back. And somehow, okay, now, minimum. Yeah, you are saying, but it's the same side. What Casima do I be me call? Wo ka se amede su mama no wo ka che mama de su mama no me tie me na me kasa me na me sa kwashi so ni asori pani ko fie je mutu di atem bi ka ho mu fra ne tuma se me se ye the feeding bottle amano ati sa akwada na ma
Dabi wo ka se feeding bottle wo se amede pa opefufu na ni ra wo fufu pa so ma me de 20 fufu okay na okay so you fufu 20 fufu
no na o de ka ho
me na me de ka
so penin so di feeding bottle aka ho
o ko tie wa ti fufu no ma na
de bo so anti wo lo ya fra no bi sa no o ti afa no wo de sa me ka sam na mo mu di bi aka ho
ye fa di ka ho
wa nya bu tre no isi ave na po a e za mo na mama na papa ma no
o za me de su mama afi ori kwa kwachi obisu na da
mama nkasa ne
man so ni team bo 1-1 na
o za no na we
man so ni team bo 1-1 na
o se no na man team bo 1-1
se ni team bo 1-1 ni te no osu na se na de
yeah man say all the time at Crystal Palace take ano
na mo team ya se na afa e ba so kakra fe na mo ya isem ye urade ya so
de na sir yeah, reset it to factory resetting. Crystal Palace are shot here. Now you do the best weekend. You want to be able to level. Any or more for Chelsea a relegation team. Don't forget, some few weeks ago, Manchester United know that Chelsea are still and we signed Chelsea one or for Chelsea relegation team. Now I started with Crystal Palace. They don't have the best weekend. Kalu,
yeah.
You know they don't the best weekend. We are on the level. You're starting league now. Man, for some Antonio Conte, Grabeji. What I say. And so now be on the Ekomano. Manchester Fonya wins Kakram, Makumi, Nubi offside there near the Adimina Jimo, and then we for Chelsea relegation team. But then the BCB our Brabuno is your less in film. You know, league in my year, the Kalu, Yankasabi, Yumudi, Sanity.
Mariko Chagum na yanko.
Except for a moment in Achima Makwaba, Unity Radio 103.9. I good you some of Pabia, Yabuabo, no the Broma, Yatuni, warm up sports. And also Emma and Yabuabo, no the Broma. There's like I said, Emma Dan Auto Repairs, Master Danso Boy, Jumani, Biama, as a mass trading, and no outdoor engagement wedding a year party DBR. A home will be our cotton and 1084 Main Street.
after that PSA called the Lemonade Finance app and so be a sendi sika every chrome had their call Ghana there. Lemonade do you see rate was switching will be a Kaisa will be issued referral code OPO now when you $10 on your first transaction of $100. Lemonade Finance app will be a sampa rate no and them go be will be a jatu. Then pass that PSA ma Anochi Chrome restaurant. Kokushu so koya waba. I feel yesim Kalisha near open end of month live band no is back in action. They say I wanna back. If you person struggling up the coldness, now to be burning some calories off there. And your master men found to from Anochi Chrome end of month every Sunday the Chatuokrano live band this year this month the way first of its kind. I bet boom fret yame aduma kwesiada na the ten is yadi asida mama na yadi ma Gold Coast Catering Services Kalisha so what Dream Africa Market
yeah but
Ahmed is on the call for Dijuane Dream Africa Market 369 Bencourt Street 369 Benko Street. The front of Paul Awamantem, Africa Market, Awaba, Oya Fisher Pasils, and the money Bofufu are getting Bunam Akante or Tree and what? The Biabenya a bonus waffle because Oya Afishapa, any Aquaba sales, or the Emma Ghana Funin Aquaba, and the new African market on the block 369 Bencourt Street. 369 Bencourt Street. And Africa market here on Saba for now a brain taking Kaloyan Tisago Pramaso, Benevosa growing from Yeshas here every charity begins at home and Sunday I call Amanane. Yeshas here there now you call Kupim the senior national team, the Black Stars local. I am from Black Galaxies. In himself, Omo Ejna Akunwa, Omo Ebo Chan tournament. Ghana first match, Yetna Homa Madagascar, Eshe Kam Yuluma Etimu Bako, and we match at Tosumilu, Yani Sudan, and Ede Ebo Eni, Sudan and a Toka de Kani, now so Benefos only Penny Bako, no one no Pasodium, Penny Kadia Kubo Fia, O Soria Pajansa, Bozamba, Feno Echon, Ghana to take Kano Eshe Sudan for a cat Marco Miensa, and my Kabako Musheno, and one again. And I go can see the air course on Ghana talisman. Oh, cut him now on the down as captain and modern boss and so in Ghana World Cup a coin and or no such come to the movie second and my crash book. A brand friend said Banya every Daniel. You know, like I say, referee no man a red card, a referee demand Yaminimly. Now you are to say Manchester outside goa. Yaji Eddie Emma Omuni Pepe. No, and I be Korea and it's a coach or that team now Eddie a friend say I know Walker. Eddie Simbiaba to and that's all can say Yaminimly. Ghana didn't mama and Yaji. They will red card a referee Eddie Ma Banya free any day and yen. I'm not near who you price and say Sakobasa Ghana qualify echo to the next round of the tournament. Ghana ever may see a talisman in the person of Banya every into Anoka. Real coach or that Black Galaxies, I don't know, or say were disappointed with the red card, a referee, Eddie Emma and the captain. Yeah, Black Galaxies once more. Now could keep our Ghana there, and they say Black Galaxies, Black Galaxies, Black Galaxies, and on a so Ghana for you now, 18 number so for modern bar or more boy, or much as a team will fire, they call World Cup now. Yamian, not just a future near bright. We will cry, dear. I didn't change the day. Are you any that Thomas Patricia, the so-called senior national team proper? No, and no, any summer Ghana for the do so I shall say, Eka, that the Black Galaxies. So, General Ghana Semiensa, Emma Black Sudan team, Akunimum, a branch of Bandy free, Eddie Red Card. Now, yet try a year champ tournament international. Now, the attention, me at Monday. And Madagascar, any Sudan, about the last match of the group. Over Morocco for one King Kaluna Ukase, Caf Diomaba, Morocco for ends me a tournament. It is only Morocco about automatically scoreline, the best was 3-0. But no Yamoy. Yet, say Yamia Duma, Joda, Madagascar, any Sudan Buria, and Ghana, you know, Bobre, say, I don't qualify Queen, and I say, qualify. But 3-1 victory, put Ghana in a strong position
say betumi qualify etumi akọ en me san say see ano say ba head to head Ghana better head to head over Sudan and head to head against Madagascar so better head to head until let's only hope and pray say Sudan for no enkonko share Madagascar bibri na enkotene enyi bibi foforo betumi yi Ghana so edi efrim eno any say the ensam so AC echo edi for Black Galaxies aso and now make the two my name say the senior national team proper Black Stars coach Francis Akwesiapia say or the Kata Aqua Coma GF for second coming or unfinished business and then perform a coin normally a Jumano Shannon star or a sans from Noaji no Ababe I'm a Black Stars and so to me for the Tuma Park Afra na eno na coach Francis JE Sapon and then Anopa Waba Bonte that's my all can say obi fra kwesi apia mano se wada obi nyane no ko JE Sapon kan nyane se kwesi apia current crop of Ghana Football Association administrators no there is no way that we bet me on my adjuma it name there ma wura open and make a show so bet nipa as your senior coach they make a show you say application now odi akọ so we Black Stars adjuma obeji no aye no coach national team no or withdraw application 10 because said the new Mexico no say adjuma no the man cry any Bosuo cry you be ready and no any someone any coach I say JE Sapon and so I talk with Apia nim or say be Akwesi Apia enko don't go withdraw application now they call for the Black Stars job no now you can Black Stars coaching once I'm Akwesi Apia wa apply no now Ghana Football Association spokesperson owura I say Asante Chum edi nsembi ababetu bia na asma o kan eni say ebinum ni nam ena omo keka Ghana Football Association shortlisted in their quest to find a substantive coach for the senior national team Black Stars no omo shortlisted ababe coaches mako densa ene owura na small di tuga and say obi obejira baby no waka asem ni bia yense ni hu enya ade a eye no kre ba kokra Asante Chuma o ye FPR ro chiri mu a sesia no coaches bet to say apim or say over 1,000 coaches and I'm apply for the Black Stars vacant job. Now, I see another chance. They keep getting applications each day, every hour, every minute. Only Ghana One TV, program I actually need state of the affairs so and on this answer so to Iga. And Asante Chuma GFPR Richra said the man focus coaches no more shortly become Yansano or see Enyano Cre and applications so I'm receiving over 1,000 applications. And they Nipa Bibri Epe Somusabeka Black Stars Jumedino no so to ama bibian so timi akonkan na abranti ba kwa enu Ghana Black Galaxies nkonim di omudi dodo na ebo na baso Kumasi Asante Kotoko goalkeeper friend said Danlat Ibrahim. In fact, modern abranti no ball no anye so bi kwa na kamia me hwe game ni bi eso ni broso se nye ono pa ka Sudan for no ye nya do a na no ne nam so ama chief Saidu Adamu edi nsem abatu dwa na so a oka nyina ne se Danlat Ibrahim goal a oda enra no sa otene no edi aba economics party a you betumi aka ne se Danlat Ibrahim can save Ghana's economy. Kiawa na asema ono so ekan no say obono modi pa na said you see prevent Sudan from scoring no ogitumi pa say Danlat Ibrahim obetumi save Ghana economy eno ene ensama ene so etumi ababeto ejwa Ghana Black Stars captain my friend say Andre Dede Ayu. And so I congratulate Black Galaxies after Omo win Munyano Enra over Sudan. When him say Black Stars proper captain no Andre Dede Ayu. It's Nimianum and a Coco Jina we local Black Stars. Now after that stellar performance no and then so I'm a captain. A congratulate or treaty and that's not the two the Instagram page and it's a congrats guys. We any Dede Ayu so congratulations message or the abre the Black Galaxies. And right there Ghana ranking in fact will be any Emma modern mom boy no and so do any day I can say na Ghana LED 2-1 yes a third goal a free bani and share na referee no ekoye ya draw line bi e disallow goal no and 2-1 na 2-1 no and e ma bani a free red card na just e be adu no again na Sudan for no nya me and you makoma mienu during that space of time no now so ni na Danlat Ibrahim say we ansana Ghana tumi asan e ko share goal ba ko kan wa just tumi adikele deal no cry ne Ghana atumi edi inkunim itina eno so ede a akoko ewie so ewo eno no
Ukopiema or president of Comoros Football Association, Sidi Ali Said, also confessed to aiding the Comoros national team to use players who tested positive for COVID in their game against Ghana or AFCON. Obekaya, Comoros, Eshe Ghana, Ekamiensa, Emma Ghana, Timiti Muminu, our the African Cup of Nations, course in 2021, and Chesena, Ebeyang, and Samu Rias, Comoros do for him, and Obabeshe Ghana. Now, so Sana Boni Bisha said, Nina say na FIFA any CAF protocols and say the player be tested positive for COVID. In this a master player no ebo ni bi. Now so president of the Comoran Football Association, Alfred Said Ali Said. Nas mo dia betubia and say nyame ni no kura di ade no wa ya wi ntia say o ka no kure. O see players are almost tested positive for COVID-19. Almost the boy because almost say Ghana team so man for some players now no mo ka say almost report to my FIFA CAF say some players we no my positive to won to me bia Ghana be share almost be 10 into almost disregard regulations e wo hono nyina and almost any players are almost tested positive so to me we also cheated against Ghana, so it's time to stop this useless polemic about my friend Eto. Now omo ADD Eto feels at them Obeka Cameroon so sembri ebai and na Comoros and so Edeno Kraba betu ya say omo so musisi Ghana omo the players omo ye COVID positive boy Eddie Etiain and also any and someone any ifi Comoros and so also ye etumi ababetu ija ye Florida Kinkalu it's already 10:36. Na yankoni yankoshe amanoni nsam kakra yaboaboa no so ede etiefo nyame eya aduma so de nyini no ene eya Friday na weekend dey basadia na nim say games libre na ebeba so. But before we do that, enwa Premier League match bako eko so said the Anopa no yabra sporting update e ma mu hu ye no na one of the toughest games yenya no midweek Manchester City Etihad Etihad Stadium any Manchester any Tottenham Hotspur and a day ebony Nenwa Kinkalu Sobeka medical the records by say coach I friend say I Antonio Conte with me Pep Guardiola pa enwa kosa na dey need now so Pep Guardiola second half team talk which means is sad game no cry Tottenham Hotspur Manchester City 2-0 in the first half now so second half no omubufu yi ebe share goals mako and 9-4 Emma at the end of the scores no Manchester City 4 Tottenham Hotspur 2 but it will be recalled say before any game no King Kalusha say who tell me na Tottenham Hotspur ni Man City about 5 Premier League games Manchester City winning just 1 na Tottenham winning 4 into usha na they are Tottenham there one mutai Manchester City pa but anura komo san to so na Pep Guardiola say there be ehene ha me say mamu me mo ade ni biu e wa ha they came down strongly from a 2-goal down. This is the second time in the Premier League Manchester City almost stadium ho obi a show 2-0 mo tete abesha 4-2 so that Patrick Vieira and then the Crystal Palace eko share first half 2 goals now so Manchester City tete carrying in the second half abesha 4-2 in the City actually sampa omo champions omo die very very hard now here come Manchester City ni Tottenham game no na enra abra match rebe pe and Pep Guardiola and post match comment as somebody to you and say or any team Man City or see the team now or identity ball with desire, energy, passion, intensity no that team now over the last 3 games and half time no the bufu the players no park can actually chromo then the hit omo boy but still after winning 4-2 no was on your content because still the team Manchester City is missing and no dan chance was saying the egu Manchester City supporters say they have to push the team and when they were first half no it was nothing to write home about and the supporters were just sitting idle why and no workers as a team no money Konkaya or say supporters will push him no to almost a best limit. The Pep Guardiola, even though he won yesterday, he's still not pleased. He's looking for his Manchester City team with that identity of intensity, aggression, desire, passion, energy, and no any and someone. Pep Guardiola. And when you Premier League, Man City, Tottenham, boy, Uko Spain, Copa del Rey, there were games. Barcelona, team from Ceuta, a cat Baku. Mienu Miesa and 5-0 and Omode Emamo VRL and Real Madrid and so the Boni Ekakakrebi Kayebwaka Real Madrid Ekum now so like I always say Penny the other never Konemu Anopa sorry Real Madrid Ebeshe VRL Ekamiesa Emomuti Mumi Uko Kemo Ewo Italia Coppa Italian games ekosonra Atalanta SF5 Spezia etimumilu Spezia ya kalu o ma saying I'll be show 5-2 na Arsenal akoto mu defender me this our story nearby na Jiffy Spezia ya o ma saying o ye show 5-2 kalu samanu chowa acha na mame ena omogoto defender eti Spezia eno amulusu 5-2 na eno so dia ekoso hono no Lazio Eso team etnefi ebo Bologna 1-0 and Juventus finally it reach Monza 2-1 na and also enenia ekoso na said the African Nations Cup no said me kan no Ghana de ne de yewi chese ye twen BBC nyame ya adoma ene uko Spain Real Mallorca and Celta de Vigo at the Baboni in the La Liga 3 o'clock and as I give because Germany so Bundesliga Leipzig and Bayern Munich it's a good game and also Evercoso 2 games our major leagues na koso our Europe nemu nyame ya admo china and action na eba ochina no yetiane say Premier League no Empire Asia Anopa 7:30 ochina we have breakfast time pa Liverpool etna Anfield Ken Kalusha versus Upunashna Sane tie pepe Kalusha team Liverpool Upunashna team Chelsea the league game we very interesting no crane say two teams in a struggle and another chance so Liverpool and Chelsea are level on points 28-28 into a lot goes into this game. Who wins? Ebe determines Obetumi fighting probably to climb the ladder and join the top 4 race. Into Liverpool, Chelsea 7:30 or China Papa about 10 o'clock. Bournemouth any Nottingham Forest, Leicester City any Brighton, Southampton any Aston Villa. West Ham United any Everton. We a battle of relegation. Kayaka relegation. Ka Everton ne West Ham de ko mum na so say dey say dey mekan na mre dane wo mu pre e woto den nti West Ham United ne Everton ebo Crystal Palace and Newcastle United ebebo 12:30 Georgina omne be last kick off in the Premier League game Oko Spain there will be 4 games Vallecano any rest is that Anopa 8 about 10:15 Espanyol ni Betis Samson at 12:30 no Atletico Madrid ni Valladolid and about 3 o'clock Ochina Sevilla any Cadiz and ebebo Italy there will be 3 games tomorrow Saturday Verona Everton 9 o'clock and Pomni Lecce Salernitana one more any Napoli 12 and Fiorentina and so any Torino and also 2:45 Bundesliga in the Germany Nyami Adwatch number 6 games Bochum any Hertha Berlin Frankfurt any Schalke 04 Stuttgart any Mainz 05 Union Berlin any Hoffenheim Nebebo and a Wolfsburg any Freiburg and a Cologne any Bremen and so ebe local horns and all Bundesliga fixtures for tomorrow Nyami Aduma Sunday saying a fixtures next year Premier League nima Anopa 9 o'clock Brentford ebe trek all the way Ako Leeds normally Leeds Akobweni Man City betnefi one Wolverhampton Wanderers and Arsenal any Manchester United we at the peak of the week Nyami Aduma Sunday 11:30 Anopa and Baso Spain in the La Liga Villarreal on Sunday Anopa 8 Omni Girona Elche will welcome Osasuna at 10:15 about 12:30 Getafe so ebe trek to Camp Nou no makobo as guest to Barcelona na Athletic Bilbao Inaki Williams and so will be in action against Real Madrid at exactly 3 p.m. on Sunday American Eastern Standard Time Uko Italy Sampdoria and Papa Sunday 6:30 Omni Udinese Monza and so any Sassuolo 9 Spezia na Manucho Akoto mu defender Ubishomo 5-2 Enrano one more any Roma 12 o'clock and a Juventus and so any Atalanta at 2:45 on Sunday in Germany 2 games will be played Borussia Dortmund and Papa 9:30 Omubetnefi na Omni Augsburg and so to media face na Mönchengladbach and so any Leverkusen abon 11:30 so these are games also over this particular weekend na and also and no if you the anayen rumors and gossip kakrani player transfer confirmed deals any idea Sisia etumi ababeto edwa West Ham United etumi ato Abrante Evans Danny Ace at the FE Aston Villa according to BBC sika team no 12 million pounds sterling Sisia me no like I said Danny Ace wadi 30 years na we deal na 12 million no with add-ons they betumi rise to 15 million pounds sterling if David Moyes side avoid relegation from the Premier League inti cross omudishe muni se kobasa Danny Ace etumi bua West Ham am call relegation Aston Villa benya 3 million more account they say the guaranteed money 12 million plus 3 se kobasa omontumi Antonio Conte after the defeat to Manchester City yesterday also Spurs are defending like relegation team or see the team ni ball omo and the way omo defend no o sha obega se team a omo relegation nya dia eso na ni baku kra and also any ensama any Antonio Conte said the anu akalu me de beto manim no there rumors oguso eswele sa anhwe ya dachi bia Ura your friend is Thomas Tuchel ebetumi abeje Antonio Conte ejumano eno an dey to manim say Brighton etumi any Arsenal agree on a deal mode pay Abrante friend say Leandro Trossard say Akin Kalusha metumi a confirm on authority the amount say Arsenal a confirm the arrival of Belgian winger Leandro Trossard they say the Trossard Arsenal player it is done sealed delivered and he has been unveiled now and also Edia Ababitu Ija
Répétez-moi s'il vous plaît. Répétez.
Leandro Trossard has been confirmed and unveiled an Arsenal player.
Yes.
It's
proven in the EPL. Leandro Trossard
confirming the deal. Or say it is good work from everyone at the club to complete the signing of Leandro. He is a versatile player with high technical ability, intelligence, and a great deal of experience in the Premier League and at international level. Leandro strengthens our squad as we head into the second part of the season, and we are looking forward to working with him. We welcome Leandro and his family to Arsenal Football Club. And in summer, Arsenal for a very player, who reference Mikel Arteta, and so a team. Samson Atletico Madrid are confirmed the signing of Memphis Depay. It was in the pipeline, but finally the deal has been sealed. Now Yannick Carrasco nanka ope Barcelona ko basisi anonya dia no ba so nemum Barcelona for so the letter release ababonten almost mamo can say we say Yannick Carrasco amade but omo ne Atletico assigning deal say in the summer almost so better Yannick Carrasco eno summer any ababito ija enso so ewo enti se there Arsenal yen konkwa omoni abre den nya dia omujeja amokra omato Trossard na omasan akwakofa defender ni na me don nsem eba but before that fascinating news Chelsea etumi at 55 million pounds sterling akopim awo Brighton aso so mu Moses Caicedo edu as kanu na Brighton for far scaling back in the and ball bid back to Chelsea. In short, 55 million pounds sterling bid Chelsea did cause and come to compare Moses Caicedo no Ken Kalusha the tiani say Brighton for Botogu saying dia Abrante womu Everton on attorney channel no dan chance so sikano kura Chelsea di ba no say Everton shoelaces lace ngwan and a between ato na and also idea and no than China ye can Arsenal signings no na Fabrizio Romano are confirm say Arsenal assigning a 20 million pounds sterling defender. I friend say Jacob Kiwior Abrante no Oyobia said the mekan no sia kan Edman Spezia the Italian Serie A no say report na Fabrizio Diabani say Arsenal ni Abrante no assigning 5-year deal also complete the medical within the next 48 hours. Ebia Arsenal betumi confirm deal no kra ene according to Fabrizio Romano was say out of nowhere obi ante say Arsenal chase defender bi omo yan say enano pay deal na ababeto from them say omo ewia anesa na chese no so edia ababeto ejwa enso so ewo eno ore friend say Jurgen Klopp da bia ototo twede na ototo twede no ba bia odi afa Chelsea aso Well, say I cannot explain it. Jurgen Klopp impressed by Chelsea big spending. Liverpool manager no Okasa as Obu Abaso no or from. Ono na small and he said Chelsea sika almost spending under new owners no or you're very impressed by na minim say dia Okasa Chelsea spended and now he's urging the Liverpool owners to also spend it there in Jimmy name Klopp. Either he's being sarcastic or he's being real, nobody knows, but I'll say he's very impressed with Chelsea spending so far and sama or the ababetu ika na baako mienu bi na fe minja dwumadi no emfa Emma Moken na Montreal so ewo sisi ameno we ka say Chelsea asan ko pie mu ewo Tottenham Hotspur omo aso ye Mali made for the friends Bissouma Chelsea edi sika koy ekoye enquiries sanka omo ebe say the brand ni nya bi mo no anka omo beton no na anka omo de Hakim Ziyech akọ in the opposite direction so omo de sika kura be kan ho a omo ye ready to do that now so enle ameno we ka say according to Telegraph Kuwakata no Tottenham for entertaining advances no kra omsinya de ombe play ne ochina anase na dechie Newcastle United actually say nipa makumaku enkron 9-man transfer list edi ewuom ni bini Everton under 21 player na Chelsea panel Anthony Gordon ewum and 3 Chelsea players Hakim Ziyech Conor Gallagher Ruben Loftus-Cheek omnyina ewo 9-man transfer list and Newcastle United also ayeno na and also dia Newcastle Koreano almost make a bid of 13.5 for a Flamingo forward I first said Matheus Franca Daily Mail and also a Wolverhampton Wanderers forward I first said Goncalo Guedes anyway I can say Wakoko Pim in native Portugal before I'll be completely a loan move to Benfica or Cologne to Wakoko Kim Portugal. England midfielder Liverpool for penna Omayo Majuse Kwembia so Munyano and Jude Bellingham 19-year-old boy who see a kind at Borussia Dortmund. Meanwhile I can say reporter if England ever said Jude Bellingham is set to hold a transfer meeting with Borussia Dortmund after indicating to Real Madrid that he prefers a move to Spain rather than Premier League switch. See, Bellingham say, no, say Liverpool penu, say Chelsea penu, say Man U penu, say Wayu, wakache Real Madrid for play. So only the minimum ni biwu, inti mwana mepe, inti also wakache Borussia Dortmund for kuwakata ifano mirror, and idea no buy. Meanwhile Liverpool say, omi still optimistic say Bellingham, omi tumia conventional, amanesi akai, edi amamo Sky Germany, and idea no so about Tottenham Hotspur so say, omo person almost 23-year-old Italy midfielder friend said. Nicolo Zaniolo according to Antonio Conte no abrante na beboa ama Tottenham omumfefi hono ayedin na reporter eba no HS say na Roma Fonso say omo ye prepared so omo ebeton anase omo belunu abrante with obligation to buy Sky Sports and the report na bantibia Antonio Conte bitumi enya no play and so openo na eno so edia ababetudwa asna omo nya players mi elu ato within ye enra ne no omo nwie omo so omo start Bournemouth omo 23-year-old English winger ye fellow Jadon Anthony as Mikel Arteta looks to add further wide options to his squad. In the Daily Mail, and Eddie and also Ababetudja, na and also Eddie Ababetudja. Chelsea, any Tottenham, Sokoshia or Brentford, Omo Spain goalkeeper, I follow David Raya, with his 27 years. Spurs, as he said, your goalkeeper, your friend said, Hugo Lloris, and sending modern boy, and I'll share Riyad Mahrez goal coordination now. Who said that this is the Nkoyi? Baby, Ojana, first pool, and Abobo Afawashano. In Tiama, to say Spurs of us, they've had enough. Into David Raya, now many Chelsea, now coach of Brentford as well. In Tottenham, Chelsea was canning Jacobaso Omuenya, Omubeko Spain, Alcohol Slovenia goalkeeper, we see a kind of Atletico Madrid, the friend said, Shan Oblaka, and no any evening standard, and so Ensama, any. Odi ababetu ijantu ko England Kuwaka Tefano Daily Star Sports no the omudi abetu and say Hugo Boss Lloris under fire again as Mahrez lead fight back and who said Tottenham Hotspur omo goalkeeping problem crash Manchester United offside goal masters for no Dikin Kalu with that said now maybe a sporting news update no warm up source no ABC now over to you at the captain's bridge now what was but I made this main country also once again
okay
Manchester for no
Upo na share
me come Manchester no a match on me bono I want to test him say okay the idea ayifo no nti ka kire Manucho Kofi Eje ko shoes say omun kai so omun Manchester na ebo
tell them it's lonely at the top. We wish to meet them there soon. Yada wa chedo nti
with them no.
Yes.
Message or say with Manchester United impossibilities become possibilities.
Exactly. So just like against Crystal Palace when they thought it was over. The impossibility became possible.
With Manchester. So when Manchester is playing, impossibilities become possibilities.
Thank you so much, Opo. Opo na shana out in Kase or this sport update in Imbra. Remember anything? Mami call Manicho. Manicho, remember Akwaba?
Yeah.
And say you. Stylish Friday.
Exactly, snowy. Today feels like the first day of Christmas. The snow is very, very nice.
Nice, yeah.
For the first time, I had to taste snow. It tastes like a virgin. When snow tastes like a virgin. So anybody, if you've never had a virgin, just go outside and have a scoop of snow. Make sure you get the crimson one, not the crimson one.
But as I remember, sport news.
Yes.
I mean, say Atete.
Yeah. Michael Atete.
That's what can say. Trassard. Obo Modern said no best signing say Sunday.
Yes.
Match against Manchester United. No.
Yeah, we were told the 12 p.m. deadline. Wait time. I don't know. No, me check. So much me because that's good. Me trust. I mean, Martinelli has started misbehaving. He needs to, augment. But I mean,
it's what news.
It's proving. The truth is that he's proving. He's better than Mudryk. Mikhailo Mudryk. I mean, on Afina, the only thing on his side is age. But in terms of numbers now, I mean, it doesn't look too dangerous.
But it's sport news to be
yes.
I will use. Sport news in
okay, and the minutes are 10 minutes.
So, because politics, them say
barely 10 minutes. Unless it's 5. I can do 5.
You tell them 10.
Yeah. Because you know subject and prepare a summary. Yeah, it's easy for lazy and you pay summary. Yeah, I will start. Me see bottom up approach and I say, bad you see up bottom approach. Okay. You don't start from the bottom. You start from the hair follicle right down to the soles of the feet. Let me use that. Yeah. Foreplay. The rise from the hair, top of the hair follicle. Top bottom approach. What's that was through? No, top approach. And then the bottom top approach there. I mean, sometimes it's not good. Unless we analysis. Yeah,
and the pole, you are the pole.
Oh, let's say, make a bottom top need there. Yeah, you. Kalisha, you have been mischievous. So do you there? As of today, Nana, as on Yazia, Nana, no, you make him. Yeah, come work, Jamie. Yeah, I'll start from coaches. I'll say more than 1,000 coaches have applied for the Blaster job. I think the job is lucrative. I mean, you can never run away from it. Social talent that's abound. But the truth is that Sikano also is something that is pushing them. It was interesting to know that Kwesi Appiah wants a third world war with the national team. Because come with me, you will not be paid less than 20,000 USD every month. Who wouldn't want this job? The thing is that, just like Opoka the other time, some of us want to be a bit racial here. You're racist kakra against our own skin. Because the truth is, they are not able to hold it against the status quo. Because we expect to say, Coach Obe strong, like a Thomas Tuchel near there. Then he will be allowed to select his own boys.
It is sports. And I'm saying,
yeah. I mean, video. What's the video? Yes.
Because more or less, like Africa now, skin.
Yeah, we are own enemies. Oh, of course.
Because say boys you moko outside na bofu coaches can no mo amutie but omoko na so mo ba na say local coaches na etinu
it has always been there the Suleiman Tari center
people so can say local coaches then time na nkra na be kono answer mo bo no mo give bribe give bribe na say me koba
exactly, but it's still happening. I have a friend that we be academy organ, we force here, win American registration could be academy, and sometimes it's sad. You have to put them on your payroll, no chunk every month before they allow your boys to play. That's how worse it is in Ghana. Why you are sometimes they even want percentages in the boys. Oh, because sometimes you nurture them. Once a player there, you nurture. Sometimes because when you player, they forgot to join a boss or bet me out on but player there or but Imagine getting a player to play through the ranks and get to QPR. even a second tier team. When you're crying $100,000 or $200,000, and every week you only pay $10,000, no more 2,000 per. I mean, it's not bad business to do. Some of people who have money should be considering some of these things. Tom Vernon Abekanye or Bagana as a way. A train to come and train as a national service with Accra House of Folk. Obama who's a talent abound will be one of the biggest academies on the African continent. But he came to Africa with 19-year-old boy. Who tell the story now is very, very interesting. That yet one of Manabe. But I agree with you that in principle, boys, because there's no time. I remember Chinese for be a company top international near the be Ghana. Then they bring some of these late Chinese boys come and be the lead men and supervisors. Back home, and they are being feared. But the money probably the boys don't want to work. They don't even understand. Break 1 hour, they want to do 1 hour 30 minutes. Friday, no, I chance to know if it won't so quick. I mean, you know the attitude of Ghanaians, of our own. Sometimes it's tough, but coach is the idea. I'm thinking that why should we go through that leg and stretch?
Yes.
Let's free.
One day, Friday, no. Yeah. You politicians, no. Now, attitude.
Yes.
Africa for now, attitude.
Oh yes.
Yeah, edit TV. I say.
Yeah.
How I see Juma, any mindset, any other, you know. Obi free. I continue. Kofia. No, I dare more your no quite the same thing.
Yes.
But Oba said, "They are not best."
Exactly.
One day you be say, "You know,
Ghanaians are able to re-rent so quick. Oba say, "Onim say, onim ja baby anjo so." That Oba football say, "Ofi takrade, ofi akuma airport takrade na odu baby a osi akwadun so kwan." Maybe the people would say that na there near places of convenience. Me ko New York, am nisan ye kra menya subway bi akwadun so. Menya hwe kra no. Me targeted the next McDonald's near me. Me to back on your soul, but yeah, didn't swear. I mean, sometimes you know it's bread and butter issues, and also chicken and egg issue. Because we do New Yorker, I say put the any places. That's been said because I say now the safe city center. Most people are driving to this work will be patronizing. Still, grab buses was here free, but people don't even take them. Over Shabazz 9.12 team. But on New Yorker, at least we two now. The waste bins are like hydrants. More at 100 feet, baby, baby, so then I can't dear, but exactly. Oh, yes, I mean, said New York, they have everything. They have very large rats. Yes, Friday, they are near Bakwafi. Friday, I mean, you can't always have foreplay. Once a while, you have to go straight. I mean, pam. And I mean, that is variety. They be an yeah, so Kalisha, seriously. Yeah, so more than 1,000 coaches applying for the job. No, I think it's the money. You see, you do stage where some of us feel that you're seeing a hybrid. Me, I'm still rooting for recruiting. I think you're trying recruiting, and then we can have another debate. The man loves the job and wants to be with Ghana. Even we decided to give him a backstage role crap. He accepted it to go to the World Cup with us. Maybe give him an experience how Ghanaians behave and get closer to the boys. So why don't we give him that benefit of the doubt to give him the club now?
Well, I mean, more than 1,000. They say they cannot manipulate that man. That's why
exactly.
They don't want to give
him. They don't want to, and they know very well that there's a government backing Sufin side. That is why virtually they have to even give him a technical directorship role because when we say I mean, why don't you give it to this man? I mean, there's a rift, a perceived rift between Ketokriku and the government. I mean, you follow football in the union. Said they don't just like his administration and he also stands up to them. And it is affecting virtually the grass. That is the us and the players. I'm seeing that it's good. A lot of people have applied, but we should. I see a son so. By this time, we should be talking about 3 coaches already. Yeah, actually, within March, I'm expecting some qualifiers to start rolling. Then you are now going to sift through over 1,000 way. Sometimes maybe they just want us to feel that they are still important and the job is still lucrative. But it doesn't make sense to receive 1,000 CVs. It's an way close bidding. Yeah, you just have to do special bidding, no, rather than open tender. So Ghana versus Sudan. I think it's a must-watch game. I had a chance to watch the highlights and extended highlights, but Sudan for first goal. I'm just saying Ghana crying. They played extraordinarily well, but at least it's good Ghana has been able to get the results over them. And I watch a time by share the 3rd goal now. It shows persistence in the past and give it to me. Yeah, I can say I share you, but Banye Free. I mean, the captain of the side. Watch the way he received that card now. It was useless, and he needs to think about what you might call World Cup at that highest level. Sometimes you don't know how boys think. 90+7. That's when he decided to receive that card. Now, what share action now? You might feel that Uncle Wade and deserve, but it was unnecessary too. Even the plays that he committed, except like Casemiro, I'll come to him. Obesha patent to Janino. I mean, I'm so disappointed. After all the noise, this is the time and gave it to me. Enyan 1-on-1, Paniachi football lesson, but he decided to take a bad shock. So the good thing is Ghana getting the results. I mean, the Siciano, but no Musa no Opoye. I think 3 is better than 4 million on any given day. 3 teams, you know. We about one probability. 2/3 is always better than 2/4. 2/3 is 0.66%. 2/4 is 50%. I know Morocco. No, you are talking about brightening your chances. So Morocco can at least you have a chance to play 3 games before to test your faith. By this time, they're just 2 games. Lose 1, win 1 is dangerous. But the reality is that 2 out of 3 is always good. Say Nia Bedi and Pawe Boba say way for Madagascar and Sudan bear draw. And I should say Madagascar be show. Unfortunately, you'll be second.
But Sudan share Madagascar or the message some show bear 4 and 3. Of course, I don't know the rules. So me rules in the crana. Head to head crana.
Head to head, baby.
Head no. Yeah, above the fencing.
Obi a share the try to down to goals because we are head to head
against Sudan. And Madagascar head to head also be against us. And Sudan head against Madagascar also almost so which is right.
Exactly. So at the end of the day, goals will decide because Obi a born when we there. I'm thinking about
Sudan for no share Madagascar be. So because say no more negative 2.
Yes.
+1.
Yes.
+1.
Exactly.
And I'm so head that's true.
Yes.
And if for no 0 minus
exactly.
2.
It is almost every break there share
yeah. Almost share 2 and 4. +2.
I'm sure for I said Madagascar for Tikeka. Now walk with Jan Waji a lot of goals. How will you go? I'm sure be break there. I'm not sure about affecting. They will rather be the victims. They can't take 4 goals and still be in the competition ahead of Ghana. I don't think so. I'm sure.
I'm sure 2-1.
Exactly. So it's just a slim.
3-1.
Exactly. So it's just a slim one.
I'm sure 3-0 there.
Yeah. And they'll drop. They'll drop. They need to. They also need to hold themselves very well. Unless a quite 1-0 crap out 2-1 will outweigh near there. So we are in contention. But the good thing is that the bad news is that we've lost our captain. And Danlad, I agree very well. Danlad did better. He proved himself better than Atizigi. Maybe for a second you should have taken Danlad today. People felt that you'll be taken. Together was banned if free ban here. How come they dropped him?
No, he went.
Oh, he was there.
Yeah,
but he was not given the number 1. Oh, okay. Then
you know, no free ban here.
Exactly, local players.
So no, there you be actually team. So I'm not lead this Samambono.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Then people should forgive me. I mean, Okobi there, yeah. At least he had experience. He's good. He
really 2 players. One from Kotokono,
yes,
and one from Hasu. A free man.
You see, so the point, the bigger point here too is that this is Africa. This is the African continent. So you can maybe cut some slack for Atizigi and also no say. I mean, the strikers are not shark like Yao Felix. Say Yao Felix, but it's not like. Or virtually a Sudanese team. You know, I'm not sure they have a lot of foreign based players. Most of them are playing back home. Some national team require more of these own people. So at least it's a lot of good news that at least some respite. It's a good win there. Then quickly to the City Spurs game. I think it's a tale of 2 halves. I mean, City, they always have a way of coming back stronger. So for us, because it would have been better for Tottenham to win from an Arsenal perspective. But I mean, City proved once again that they are the team to be 2-0 down. I mean, regular faces scoring the goal like the Haalands, the Mires and co. I mean, it's a good game for them. All of a sudden, they set themselves in there too. Personally, I want them to go ahead of Manchester United. So once we put them there, it's good for them. So for Antonio Conte, I mean, the only good thing is that this season was drawing with Chelsea, controversially. Only had that 2-2 against Chelsea, but almost the top 6 teams will be action. And Arsenal has done a double over them. It doesn't look good. All of a sudden, I think I put him in my top 4. I'm one of the victims. If I've been given a chance, I have to take them out. I don't think that they deserve to be in the top 4. Nothing is really working in. Save Kulusevski, the rest. I think it's time they sell Harry Kane for good amount of money. He's just the team is just so. Oh yeah, he's very, very good. I mean, he's very, very intelligent on the ball. And I mean, Guardiola, I agree that his identity, that the tactical identity on the team is missing. I think it was less individual brilliance. Some team share goals. It's a tiki-taka, hold the ball, don't give it to your opponent. Guardiola's team is losing it. It's so much unlike them, and I'm hoping that he can correct it. I'll talk about only 2 games in the EPL: the overbeaten, then the unbeaten. the overbeaten boys. You know the overbeaten boys. Oh, Liverpool versus Chelsea. Overbeaten. Yeah, sure, it's an overbeaten tie. I mean, it's a game and can win here, but 2 pregnant women going to run a race. At least there'll be a little competition. Yeah, but say the GG buy me no amonyama. You 9th month, now 100 meters. You can imagine. That's what we are going to do today. I mean, 9th and 10th. Liverpool just ahead of Chelsea because of goal difference. I mean, 28 points. It's so much ahead of. You know that Arsenal is in reckoning to set halfway. Even 51 points. I mean, not even the legendary team winner. City team point to be 51 points after 19 games. How dare you? Can you play with us? I mean, you wait. If you win this league, make sure you don't die because I have a lot to tell you. I have a lot in my, I write every day. Every day I put a synopsis together. I'll come and read it here. I have a lot in store. Yeah, so for me, it's a big game. Unfortunately for Liverpool, they have a lot of absentees. I mean, Virgil van Dijk, Munya is still injured. They can't really be part of the team. Nunez is back. Nunez is trying to pass a fitness test, but then Cody Gakpo. I mean, last time I didn't see him well. I don't think that he's the one to really take Liverpool in there. Mohamed Salah. I mean, maybe he plays well with Sadio Mane. All of a sudden, he's lost every grace and steam out of him. The middle of Liverpool, too, it needs a change. I mean, that's Fabinho together with Alcantara together with Henderson. I think the triumvirate is not really working.
Fabinho, no. He's aged. Both of them are aging. It's more or less,
they need fresh blood.
Yeah, was a Fabinho, no, because I know Monaco. Yeah, no, we use him as a centre back.
Yeah, centre back.
No defense awareness when he's playing the whole day midfield now.
Yeah, it's good.
Well,
yeah.
A Trent Money, a Yimo many, and Robertson Muktu many. But right now, I'm saying, Praco Bayano, that you don't twin yet. And also, want to be most armored for the year, no expose Van Dijk. Say, Van Dijk bears a yino, did one Fabio.
Yes,
because you're yet not say to meet Tagia, not Van Dijk and
little space to really get it right. But I think for Chelsea, I'm sure they've signed Mudryk in time. I mean, he might just be in contention. Not so sure, but other players in there. At least when Adachi said, last time, I think he did well. The only problem I see with Chelsea is that they bought too much. Almost 13 players. So are they going to ship some out? But I'm told Kante has started live training. Maybe all they need is a Kante for them to come back to life. So it's the overbeating run. Let's see who gets still to be beaten. Or I mean, a game of equal halves. But if there should be a win, I see Liverpool not. You see, back at home they are very strong. You might have all your crimes with Liverpool, but they don't easily lose. I mean, at Anfield. I mean, the last time I saw Fulham doing a 1-0 by them, and that's a long time ago. Close to over 30 games. Beating them there is difficult. So it will take something extraordinary for them to, especially when Chelsea doesn't have a striker. But are they bringing back Aubameyang or they are putting Kaya Bet in there? I mean, I am a ball. I say Ghana. I mean, sorry. Yeah, don't beating run. I mean, the big boys, the first and third. I mean, are going to also have a date. And if there's any team Arsenal wants to seek revenge on this planet today, Manchester United. In Manchester United, and you are doing another unbeaten. That's how good it is for us. And that time you use virtually wannabe boys. And people keep saying Partey did not play in that game. Please, for people for the records, those who believe in putting records, take your pen and paper and write that Partey did not play in that game. Partey is now fit and form and fair to play in this upcoming fixture. The only thing you can pray is that you might have a problem in Ghana and you might call and say for family reasons Partey is not playing. If you are a United fan, add fasting to your prayer. You can join half hour this dawn and pray that Partey should get an emergency in Ghana, a family emergency. If not that, you'll be in trouble. Some of us wish we could have seen that ultimate game, because I said the Ferdinand and Co have started speaking a lot that they think Partey, Casemiro notches it a bit higher. I mean, in terms of pedigree records now, we all know that Partey is not close to Casemiro. Casemiro is a legend in there. I mean, he has Champions League titles under his belt. It's a classic and your potent defensive midfielder. But age and everything is catching up on him, and Partey is also on the rise. Into the EPL property, it will be an interesting pairing. But unfortunately, I'm only speaking virtually because that can't happen. I'm expecting a big game. Arsenal to win 2-1. United will score a goal anyway, but Arsenal will win that game 2-1. And Leandro Trossard, I think Oppo has taken the sail out of my wind, if not the wind out of my sail. Arsenal trying to get him in record time to really be part of the team, because if there's a weakness, everybody agrees with me that Martinelli has not really been in tip-top form. I mean, for Nketiah, I wish we could have another striker to augment, but I mean, at this point today, we keep to the status quo. So a lot of good news. The only thing I militating against him, his age is not on his side. He signs a 4-year contract with Arsenal till he's 32. His love has always been there, and Deserbi, the coach did not like him. You see, everything. It's a season. It's a year. Arsenal is gradually becoming the what's that team that won the league some time ago? Out of the blue, Leicester. Yeah. Arsenal is gradually becoming the Leicester. Look at it in a typical game that you have to lose. Casemiro, they are talisman. They're replaceable. They are bringing Fred. I mean, Fred. Can you imagine? Is he still a Brazilian, or he's changed his nationality? He's the one going to be in that midfield with Bruno and Eriksen. Okay, they should come. I mean, we are already at Emirates. We are waiting for them. So it will be it's an interesting one. Deserbi didn't really like Leandro Trossard. He's decided to move on to greener pastures where the grass is lush. I mean, he's leaving high school to a university to really continue further studies. I think he deserves a lot of plaudits in there. So for me, it's a lot of good news. And the defender has now also signed. I mean, Opo couldn't have said it any better. We are getting wiser. We are not behaving like hijack FC. They don't know how to scout, or you scout and before you realize they will go and buy the same player. I mean, this time around, it's from Spezia. Do you remember Virgil van Dijk? Go and check his records with Southampton. Was he the best defender in Southampton? But he came to raise the bar. The same way the man is coming from Spezia. I mean, you know Italy. If you come from Italy, who else? I mean, he's coming to light up the defensively for us now. So, I think I'll make do here. I'll leave it here. If you leave me, I will rave and rant and huff and puff for a long time. We're joining Kalo.
Yeah, I think that Manuel justice to all the stories. The only thing that I will talk about is the big game coming up this weekend. The Manchester United Arsenal game. I think so.
What kind of team is pregnant woman want it?
Oh, send justice.
Pregnant mischief. Two pregnant.
You know, I don't really argue with Tima Europa League not to talk of Champions League.
As we sit here now, they are the two overbeaten teams. Opo Memphis Kalusha, he's only putting sand in your diary. He wants you to cry. Memphis
So Europe, no disrespect it.
Agree, but he said we are the overbeaten two. Overbeaten two, never be share two pregnant women going to give us.
Manchester United, Liverpool can make mockery of Chelsea if we are not performing. But a team like Arsenal that has never even won Europa League, common Europa League.
No, and they are
Arsenal
Europa League, I'm with you.
To mean Chelsea. So what I said, pedigree. So pedigree, pedigree. Unjumin Sano. Team I won the Champions League there. Now one better league is so back. Now we did the bag. Even Premier League era, cry a more channel. Now say you did it. So what I said. Win the bigger trophies.
Kalusha time analysis.
I've been on the moderator show. I've been over the time.
Analysis.
The Arsenal for you know. You move the person league, you know. But the Omo ya no man now Oma Sam started here again. Honestly speaking, because Omo Nyanji
is that we kind of cry you know and say you maligabo.
Chelsea relegation team. Also to household trouble.
I
think that there are two fascinating games over this weekend. Nina is of much importance. Liverpool, Chelsea, tomorrow morning, 7:30 is a crunch of a game. Chelsea struggle, Liverpool so struggle. Liverpool struggles, so honestly speaking, I am still trying to come to terms with, because injury list at Chelsea won, Liverpool need this. So I say, I don't really know. It's a 7-year syndrome now, more kana ampano na Juma with Klopp, but I think that the performances haven't been that bad, but just that they haven't been able to convert their chances. And I think that team the midfield, is aging. And if there is any team that needs players to say Moses Caicedo now, before that Liverpool going and Chelsea, especially say Chelsea Nyangolo Kante Baka, we will be a little okay as compared to Liverpool. Who had Metisana Manucho Jordan Henderson, Many Thiago Alcantara more. As Omonini and Fabinho so is not as strong and effective as he used to be. I think there's more strength in Metro. Naby Keita is a fine chap, but for some reasons that's a club on Peno because the report is also almost by the end of the season on Bijana Coin. So there is a lot, but on the whole, I think that more signings, more Darwin Nunes, King Kalusha will be in the area. Kaube Krasa, he been a quarter player win and Koushia, and cannot be out of you can say, can't be Trapia on the Bianawi. By Liverpool, you are quiet. You don't even talk about him. That's interesting. Manchester United, Ekwa player. You win some of it. No more Gatpo. Or by a movie that Gatpo is going to Gatpo. And I'm writing a bonus, you know. What you say. So I think Liverpool all is over as with Chelsea. And I was reading an article this morning. Manucho Chelsea Unano or a swine first to trouble for fire. As a Kwani Ojezubia, which me and the under you. Reporter by just he's planning life without Graham Potter. And reporter manager Fufu Diamba as well Kasa say or see by 1 or 2 games or back, but if the results don't improve with the spending that he's done, he might have to do a managerial change.
But I think it makes sense. I agree with him. I mean, he will not spend all these things and keep a shepherd who cannot take care of the sheep. I mean, that one. Yeah.
So that's the report coming in this morning. So the game tomorrow is of much significance to Liverpool.
Yeah, they should improve performance.
Whoever comes up on top, I keep saying can challenge for the top 4 because I still believe Liverpool and Chelsea, one of them will get into the top 4. I am still of the conviction, say Newcastle will drop out of the top 4. Mark my words. I'm still of that conviction. Newcastle will drop out.
They don't have it.
Newcastle will drop out of the top 4. So Chelsea, Liverpool, one of them. I don't want the game to end in a draw tomorrow.
Oh, but Liverpool win. There's no way Chelsea will win. Liverpool beat Chelsea.
Liverpool are slightly on top. Talking about record with us at Anfield.
Yeah.
And I mean total team play. I believe that Liverpool have the edge tomorrow, even though I'm a Chelsea fan.
Okay.
I think
you don't have a striker. You don't have a striker. I mean.
Okay, you better my busia for you now.
Minye say Manucho me cheki Manucho tamu wakasa over
Wankasa kese I even ended. I didn't even come. As Kase I didn't even come. I was hanging in the air. Ono hu say me baby me here dey mede na maba.
Na
oh sports abemo time why na they aka
so the other Friday man
analysis
wow, so you might check out we are over by just something like
No, I thought I was talking about only the 2 games. I didn't touch any of the signings and all that.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the 2 games coming up this weekend. It's Friday, 1 okay.
Exactly.
So we have to do freestyling. Let me do my sports, please. And then they miss me the goose. So said the change. I know me. And now my main sports now we are But I think that it's going to be a good game. Manchester United have been stopped by Crystal Palace. And a lot of scrutiny is going to go into this game, judging from the fact of the first 2, when the first 2 teams met at Old Trafford, who shared the controversial decision that the VAR and the officiating officials need to take here. And now we share recently Manchester, and now here recently Manchester United controversy said you make offside goal, offside goal against City, Jima Money Adena. I think that the whoever manager, do you know the referee is going to be in charge?
Tell me.
Anthony Taylor.
Wow, controversial, very controversial.
Anthony Taylor and SIB did this game. So I think that but I like the Arsenal mentality and move home. So everything should go in favor of Arsenal. And right from the blast of the referee whistle, what Arsenal needs to do is to get an early goal to silence United, because the more you play the game without scoring, United will warm themselves into the game, and then they are number 12 man. The referee will begin to, sarcastically be awarding free kicks, and in that, those things come into play. And I think that Arsenal needs a quick start. First 15 minutes, they should score. So Arsenal show within the first 15 minutes, as they usually and normally do. But Manchester warm themselves into the game. It's going to be tough, and we know some Manchester means to say we can't play. Referees wow, and so you have to take your own referee onto the field by scoring an early goal.
I agree.
What I said. Yeah, to say Zuma Nelson and Jeff Fenech. Also, I came with my own referee from Ghana. Yep, go with your referee, score an early goal, and then put them under pressure. You know, don't let them get into their rhythm.
Shomos from afar, 26 years yada.
Yeah, and I won't say by drawing against Crystal Palace, no.
Yeah, and losing Casemiro before this game.
And I listened to Momu coach in the post match after Crystal Palace. Amubisan said Casemiro wouldn't be there. Also, we beat us now without Casemiro, so we're going to beat them again. You know, so he was also bragging because he's beating us and he's the only team Omwashemo. If there's someone who's careful, because United at Emirates sometimes, team in your last time, about 2 seasons ago.
Yeah, I'm not stopping us now. I'm beating Rano.
Yeah. So I'm very careful. But all in all, who's a Manchester there, I don't like them and I can't like them. You see, some of the sentiments there, I think I will go for Arsenal, but it's going to be a KG game. But I won't sure even form guide that still Arsenal should win this game. Kalu, my Johnny Tiamon Pacho, boss.
Okay, thank you so much. Opona Shana, Moted and Kano. Political arena, they couldn't come over. Pacho menu feeding in fear. High Unity Radio 103.9. Pacho try say a basis here and afi ya the politics in Ababakamo. Menu feeding in fear.
Asampayetia Obayansa Bosuo Munubia wankana asam Temafu to some kakre wa supreme Yo kofi Omaya woman Omani ya mamana Ini baby ako Bachata ya wareni Ponson wanini pa Nasadi pa wofe oye Yama embera ye Ebe ya ifuyana Omaya umano Omaya mamana Hati waya nora Yami chata Yamana reya Wanso wanini pa Sawa ya wanabe Yamo embera ye Ebe ya ifuyana Wanso wanini pa Nasadi pa ofyo
Ya some obi bia kwa back seba Unity Radio. I say nense bebre e na kwanu. Ohinto former MPP General Secretary in sense me abetu dwa say e dey MPP before you no man hwe ya omo de party ne be call relegation. Na o kan sense me say e say party ne mkwa supporters bi amadwen say omo yomanim so omo support Alanchamate ama omo luso omadwuma o kan sense bebre. Ohinto so esan ka say Bamia ba party kwa na on sheda ni card enso mo bua na mana be beja ayini mu dia oya ense nkofo bi na ta na chi nti sa ense no sa trace ne so eya de sense bibiri ya san akwa enkrafo fom so abrante bi e fe no stebesa tete also de ense ba betudwa say MPP for say de obi anim say Alan na ne mba aso say esom de constitution na say how mo si o made no say Alan emre na adu Canada Japan so de ense ba betudwa say onunya banja no ba betra Ghana so be mampanyini a obetumi the 5 northern regions no any afam place etumi ama aduane abu Ghana ema otumi kwa de bi ama African 52 countries in na ama mo bi adidi amen ama mo nya ho ato mo ena me no ka say attorney general beko na okọ parliament na mo say anti LGBTQ bill no ono so omo na kodi esa ho so bi anaso omo na kodi Anopa o babada issue no na eno so so dia ban Kufo Foundation boss Professor Ajimendia e dey nsem abetudwa say sa project omo ye die nanka amanfo ni endase omo dis project ba na nkofo so omo dey abetu anim no nkofo a omo di ni mo nyam but sense my beba esa project no ya de sense piaba and say ya de nimkwase bebre aba sa national cathedral issue kene forata se kianeke kene o say sense bebre aba national cathedral no ba si ombesi dan de ya ombesi national cathedral na so biem Joyce we ka Joyce NDC time MPP 4 times so they suffer mami or say Sara Sha Cathedral no enye se aban no na ema ifo sika se omufansi o na aban de oma seat bi na mpanifo 13 na opa omo no waka che omo se obi anya contribution na onfa mebesi asorodan no nti asorodan no de aban na initiative but then eyini de nsema waka ne se omo de omo na omo ebe pesika ebe resist ka from mu se omo so sorry mu no de bebesi sa yi no eno nso se nsema Joyce ayi akam foreign ministry so de alarming eyi aba se eden 2007 na nke ese ede 1.4 million Ghana cedi edisi no omo ya kwasa sa masaida yi omo sibiye no na fisika na kokodu 7.9 million na omo di sisada no sansem na ebebedi ho abobo ene de etwetwa so no mame call hininto de no na meni hininto esem okan no na fe mbra manicho na manicho so efa na no disem mbra eti manicho hininto oko good evening Ghana eko defender eko di nkomo ebi wona defender bi say questions bi about no attorney general oko defender hono no oni dey Paul Adumachi no ni di community enkomo ono na twe no yenko tie na etie ba na fe ye de enkomo twe na soso.
If the bill succeeds, Ghana is going to declare itself as an anti-LGBT society. We don't want LGBT. It is illegal. It's criminalized. If the bill does not succeed, then we will remain with what we have, which is sodomy in the Criminal Offences Act, and that's about it. The big question is the advocacy about LGBT. Should it be criminalized or should it not be criminalized? That's really where the issue is. What opinion did you render to Parliament?
Well, so I think first of all, it's important to note that the bill is a private member's bill, and ordinarily it's not permissive of an opinion of the attenderer. But in view of the very weighty matters at issue, in view of the fact that the attenderer is designated constitutionally as a principal legal advisor to the government and also the defendant in all civil matters which against the state, which includes Parliament, I felt it's a constraint to present an opinion. Because really, these are matters that are so fundamental. And I think that I presented what I may call or term a balanced view. My balanced view was on account of on account of certain principles which I spelled out to Parliament. The first principle is that yes, Parliament has the power to legislate, but that power of legislation is subject to, as I said earlier on, certain constraints placed by the Constitution. So Article 108 of the Constitution places a restriction on the power of Parliament to pass a law which borders on of a financial nature, which also requires the state to assist financially. And I see this law as requiring some financial contribution by the state for its implementation.
Really?
Yes, because there's this requirement for the state to provide a prison for such convicts, for also this requirement for the state to also contribute to the rehabilitation of persons suffering from such impairment and all. And by the dictates of Article 108 of the Constitution, such a bill ought to emanate from
the government,
the executive, yes, on the authority of the president. So that is one. So apart from that,
is really driving the bill to a coup?
I think I also recognize that first. Secondly, I mean the government or the state, the state is empowered to enact legislation which will regulate family rights, adoption, marriage, succession, and whatever. And to that extent, this bill is not necessarily unconstitutional. That the state is empowered to enact legislation which will...
But this is a private member's bill. Is it considered within the context of state?
Yeah, because
Parliament is state.
Yeah, Parliament is a state, and indeed the bill affects everybody, whether it's private member or originated by the executive. It affects everybody, and so the point I made is that yes, the state is empowered under Article 26 of the Constitution to enact legislation which will affect family matters and law, and therefore if the state is enacting laws which will protect children against certain content deemed immoral is actually not unconstitutional, because Article 26 talks about the state national laws to protect children from physical and moral hazards. So that can be treated within the constitutional context. But such a law, whatever it is also subject to Article 12, Clause 2 of the Constitution. Article 12, Clause 2 of the Constitution requires or enjoys respect for all rights, but subject to the rights of others. So really, rights are not absolute at all. Recognizes that rights in themselves can be curtailed on account of. And as such, another right, Article 17, Clause 1, which I've alluded earlier on to, is equality before the law. And then you talk about Article 17, Clause 2, further provisions, which talks prohibits discrimination against persons. And then also you have regard to other provisions of the Constitution, which border on freedom of expression. Article 21 borders on freedom of expression, freedom of thought, freedom of conscience, and belief. And I also make hold the view that indeed the effects of the law also repeat the existing law. Parts of the existing law are repeated in this bill. So I think that there's the prohibition on sodomy. Clearly, sodomy is prohibited. Yes.
Advocacy about the rights of LGBT is really where the matter is. You don't seem to say that is right or wrong.
No, I have a view on that. So yes, again, if you situate it within the context of the constitutional provisions which prohibit or which empower the state to enact legislation which protects children and other persons against moral and physical hazards, then the law may not be unconstitutional.
Yeah.
Yes, but so apart from that,
so in your opinion, are you saying go ahead or don't go ahead?
On here, Dami, Attorney General, Godfrey Dami, Attorney General, now defender, Sergio Ramos, Manichu Ekar, no, didn't come. Good evening about LGBTQ plus, and I know what you want to say, you know. But some more can I say, I did not say often at Parliament, ever kind, you know, once him. But I know they are not the conclusion that say, on the anti-gay need to support it. And I'm out for assume. But then, what you in some kind of council, I know you was also thinking, say, I don't know, in as man say, bill number passing to law, no. Say, almost passing to law now, and conphobia, my cause I, you know, I have to take care of them. No, so I heard that aspect, you know. Manicho, Godfrey Dami, Attorney General, I sent at the Parliament, a bill, Bawunya Mekaya, who quite say, to cancer, I don't end. I'm not almost far behind my band. Say, I don't know what can say simply, but then I
mean, the few that, the few that we can discuss and you try your best in the can. I think they are in two parts. The first part has to do with that, or say religiously, morally, he doesn't support gay or anti-gay.
That's right.
That's where he stands. What I don't get is, I mean, he was not part of the chosen 8, faithful 8, and then 9. I mean, I'm saying 7 MPs with 1 NDC MPs, Nabako, NPP. I mean, the number is between 8 and 9. No more pass a bill. I think it's 8. No more, why he was not part of the whole crew? Because if you don't believe, you see the nyachum.
No, I didn't come by a first. Now, I say NDC 4 on the side, and to bill will more or less, and I'm for tagging say NDC 4 bill. And I said NPP 4 bill, no more supported by it, didn't come out.
No, but that's where the problem is, because at the end of the day, yes, I quite say private members bill maybe MPs bill now but only about 8 of them ascribe to with some judge leading the charge.
Yes.
But California they had a laissez-faire attitude, laid back approach. They didn't want to be actually be part, because there's strength in numbers. Trust me, say about 100 MPs now, so almost signing to this thing, it's a misnomer, and can issue be. But because only 8 of them appended their signature, only 1 from MPP side. No, I'm not quite say, just like you're saying, that real way say it's a political way undertone. Say Akufo-Addo are going to say to ban to happen. We've heard what Gabi Ocheda about it. Say their stances that it should be allowed to go. No people can see a bill Lucy scanning there. But it's good that it's coming from the Attorney General of the country, because if anything, legally near the end, he's the one who was supposed to be the government.
I want to question say, Obi Onimbrano. Now at the Parliament, so maybe how do you have to bring as a like verdict. So now you Attorney General.
Oh, maybe he spoke as a person that is against it. Well, I understand people can want to play legal issues with it, but the truth is that when I ask some of these questions, I mean, you have a God to save and a country to also hold. Into what I say, Brenty, what can you say? I mean, before God near there, no one say, and you had the papa, but as to just like you're saying, it comes with its own ramifications too. Because if you decide that, because certainly you're losing, but you're a bit silent. Woko constitution in 1960 there now, which laws are every lobby I organ be until it is repealed in Woko quarter a age SMC laws in ya to state the idea. Into what share way now homosexuality no it's aboard in Ghana. But I didn't talk about the prescribed punishment in the entire question discretional. Judges need to mean fapping be and fun to mean charge obi because you got cheap or Bema me back court to say or me a gay. What's the point? Where's the evidence? Near the end, I'm Rasta and Obedience so they boom say I'm 10 years, 15 years in there. So people feel that we should strengthen it. Yen passing into law and yes stringent in Ghana say ye who are now so yen declare what makes it criminal. So we are broaching also again as enter Ghanaian territories. Do we catch the person or yet to tell now or again and say Achinako? You see, these are gray areas that needs to be answered because if I'm a known game, I Ghana, known some moving pick, Namdi Bema Kuradema. Say on them now, you can say, hold on. I mean, what are you going to do over there? Near there. But is that what you also want to ascribe? That people should be knocking on people's door and catch them and bring them out. So I think that this is why we want to pass the law so that we can have a better understanding of the whole thing. So, like he's saying, now passive people who have been victims, you need to have a very good, comprehensive program to rehabilitate them into the system because I didn't know their Ghanaians it comes with cost near the but see and they acquire say starts no be in okay okay na unya e wase mo hospital na the kakra no meet my pampers on the born on be near there but see ano there are people are sometimes they have to even yes one more pande nyina because they feel like near there. So I think that he only spoke on I don't see it as personal. I don't see it as a problem. He's saying that he personally against it, but legally if you pass it we need to look at sikasem near there. I mean it's also a caution because the people have even spoken about the fact that most of them are gays. At the end of the day, America for at the moment donations now they are they not gays who are paying the taxes to them and they are making that money? Gays they would debate I mean that is so who's a mature about yeah I mean treat them it's a power me the bube me the baby those are some of the areas that legally is selling us, but I don't have a problem when he personally feels. You know my personal stance on it. Okay, what two consenting adults do in a room is their whole business, but so because also the spirituality is so much about because of Sodom and Gomorrah. That's why you're in democracy. So let's see how it really goes.
Okay, thank you so much. Opo mama vadi kakranka na fe yenko enim Opo what menka hello Opo. Okay, Opo mam se manicho enti enka aba odamia sem. Yes. Yenko enim my yeni juju so they wo juju di pa. Yeah, let's go for it. Yeah, Opo what menka?
Yeah, Kalu.
Yeah, odamia sem no fa krabi ka na yenko enim why?
Yeah, LGBTQI issue, no, I think starting as Manuchuka said the bill is dead on arrival, and I think that the energy that from MP, from George Mono Kuja Tomodi saw bill now, I was rooting and flagging for them. No, I think it's dead. I call from Amaz, I won't shut down take. I won't be baby. I'm happy to Odami. I mean, I listened to his interview and I read through his transcript, and he's saying that. Or a Christian your support, but there are some areas I feel say I was your reform now yes son so let's hope and pray that along last month maybe to me I am brand on about infection about Bejma who's a idea back Ghana for a pepper and it's a bit to me I am rana a bit Kelly the issue of lesbianism and gayism by culture, by our virtues, Africa, Sandia Mononia, yes, so it's for Odami to see, said, or not being a Christian, not yet, say, but the view, I think that he's not the only person who's made that call. A couple of other people have also made that call, almost said, Embrano there, but there are other areas are too anti humanity. So let's see if they are able to do it and do it nicely and make sure that BBR is an outcome. I think that it will be okay. But for record purposes, I can't wait to see the day Parliament because Sambrano is born and the president has signed. I can't wait to see, because just like I said, gradually it was dying out. It was dying out, and the hope of us seeing the law leave was gradually, going. But let's hope with the Attorney General coming in and saying that he's going to also talk it out in Parliament.
Okay, with that CP, Manu.
Yes.
Yanko Foreign Ministry issue no in regards to Chief Director I say project that was in 2007. That was supposed to be built at 1.4 million Ghana cedi. Because a contractor no ARENT be a project 2022 as a 2023 no rise it to 7.9 million Ghana cedi. Is it no wastage? Oh my, see any ska. Na the Viano project say and the contractor ni yare. Na me question beside say, I think I want to a contract in feeling them. No more for mobi. Ana omo pe kwan bi fofo. No be from 2007 up to 2023. Manager, is it no more than 7 years? And
oh, you are talking about almost 20 years no. You get 2024 perfume. For 16. Exactly. 16 solid years.
It is 16 years, you know. And the Papa Naya from 2007 up to this time around. And I say that same company na almost had the contract in the man's own. Manitou.
You see, I mean, for me, this is my area. This is what I was built to. I went to school to learn. I mean, project management. I mean, I did civil, but earlier part of my life in Inyade from 2006 to 2012, now me a project design and construction supervision. So basically, I have in-depth knowledge when it comes to some of these things. So I'll say that on the surface, it's not strange. The project starts at 1.4 million and ends up at 7 million. But the truth is that you spoke about some indicators in there. You see, before you award a project, well, you conceive the idea, say, a project now. What for consultant? What label what you want? He does the design. What they are called to tender. Now, they say he is capable. Why no financial and technical evaluation? Say he's fit enough, and he doesn't have a lot of job on his hands to do the job. Meaning, all your bid number, you are a bid bond and a tender bond. And I said we had to protect the bond, because if you decide to pull out at any time, you had a project in Bamawa, it be affected the whole way. Maybe you've won it into bid bond in here. What's the somewhere what you say is coming from insurance or bank guarantee. If you win the project to you are different performance bond. You also have to provide it. Because we are nanas went to me and then we can take the project from your hand, then re-award it to somebody else. It's also done because it's a contract. And you have to fulfill your side of the bargain. I'm the one going to pay you. Maybe a measured work. We animate your car. And every stage payments in idea. What if you decide to win a I have to also protect myself. It is sometimes 10% of the contract sum. $1 million. And I so decided to win a I'll take $100,000 from you. That is what we use to protect projects. You see, projects in here. I mean, new project, rehabilitation of Edu Lodge guest house. Awarded to International Development Resources in March 15, 2007. You can rehabilitation. It's more like renovation. Even for renovation, by rehab, sometimes you break some parts and refix some parts. By renovation, maybe you change some pipe works in the idea. But sometimes renovations become equally big. Then people talk about even reconstruction, because it's okay rehab. It shouldn't even be too expensive, and to me more than 10-20% of the project, because of the original cost. The inside there, it will even make sense to break it and do it. Where I have a problem with this is that I should tell me I awarded project in 2007, and the reason ascribed, and yes, it's and I say BBO. The contractor who was on it, yes, contractor. I mean, we're a chief director of a company. So when you go and sit here in front of the public interest accounts committee, how do you feel and think? You are putting the engineers under a microscope for ridicule. Because Say nipani a company as you can say LLC is beyond one person. And now the limit is limited to what I know in Ghana. Na minja America say mako opunka. Ghana they can say limited liability company. It's not just about one person. You can open a sole proprietorship. A enterprise. Manicho enterprise, Kinkalusha enterprise. One kwana ya odia. Na what they call all limitations are jobs over to me aje. Say Juma with their bros, won't count me yet. But we're in a limited liability company. What directors? Inside a GNS, you won't say community region fees one of the directors in there. Because you need a minimum of 3, sometimes 2. It be a one or be but 2 directors anyway. Sometimes managing director near the. So if the man is sick, powerful Ben or Yana, the man outlived and outlasted almost 3 governments. 2007. So we are talking about
Miss.
For time. Then the man had a project. And he's had handled the project till 2023. And I say, well, the emphasis will be 2022. Then you take an initial bill of a project which started at 1.4 is now 7 billion. And the reason that you ascribe for government wastage, because the man was sick. So he could not take the project from his hand and re-award it to somebody else. Terminate the project, give it to another person to do it. Repackage it for somebody else to complete the project. Sometimes it's even cost effective. But what's in a project in one when cement was 25 cedi to when cement was 70 or 80 cedis? Who does that in project management? Project manager project and it should have a start date and an end date. Any part on the chain, if there is a mishap, the project engineer, contractor, you failed woefully.
It will be here 16 years.
Yes,
in time on the same project.
Project what they are now channel. And you see, the more you listen, the more you get mad because it's not even the default of the client. It is the contractor who defaulted by being sick. Emotional say obi the contract now with their money because you thought he was capable technically, financially, and emotionally, physically. So and you've checked say yes evaluation and I'm here pa in the workforce in your check it. So 2 engineers, this job no, what does it entail? What does it do? This project manager says which you can change at any point. Into the managing director and CEO of the company is sick into the project shows lay follow. Then when anytime he comes back, you pay him. I think this man needs to be fired and be put in jail. Any serious country. Now the man Mr. Mikoye revaluation. This man doesn't deserve to be a chief director. Unless he wants to tell me he was not there. He only wants to say something that this thing is proper investigation. Sometimes the problem in Ghana is that PIC not to downplay them, but most of them, we say technical project management people on it. 1 or 2 of them in Kanye be accountants in there, so they don't understand the nitty-gritties. With all apologies to them. Who does that? Say a project of this magnitude, just a rehab, and just a new construction, a rehabilitation of a lodge, a day and a honor. I'm not sure it is an exquisite and I say executive lodge be in Huama, but it's for the government. No, you're rehabbing what in a project and we're done. You see that though. Now you're done. You go to 2 glazed windows. Near flexible for doors and crack that baby or boo and I mean these things should not last 16 years for Christ's sake.
Okay, all right, thank you. Opo national.
Ingaluja.
What's in the and now when you engineer and yanko any man. Oh yes,
when they say where they are sending a NSS stories via they buy a copy specialist no better.
Yes, civil engineer carry out.
Oh, there's all now who is always any some cabinet
Tafro credit.
Okay. You don't need an engineer. You need to use your common sense. I mean engineer some it's the same thing. This is
archaeology to zoology. These are some
of the stories that it makes you go mad because Manicho has explained processes of
projects
and stages and everything, but Kaluya are dealing from this angle. I didn't see a project I hear 1 point something, I could do 7 point something, I would say the end man on a yari. Just analyze this. Well, common sense. We Manicho expecting a very, very much required. But if you don't have that, this is a simple thing that you can use your common sense to analyze. What I said, we your president. We are buying yes, so and this project and yes, a project or 2007 project or some year count.
March 15, 2007.
So and a project now running down about to do January 2023 Public Accounts Committee Friday and as I so ministry and this project was revisited in March 2019 upon the request of consultants and was revalued to Ghana's over 7 million, almost 8 million because 7.9. What I say? And on a man who you're penning for a one a junior or a woman. 2007, who was in government? Wasn't it Kufuor?
Yes, Kufuor.
Yeah, it was President Kufuor. It's Kufuor for 2008.
Yes, 2008.
Yeah, so my friend said the project was awarded in 2007. Yeah, in 2008. Mills ni mahama mo beto aso ameboa up to 20.
Kofo frisu ayo.
January 2009.
Yeah.
Yeah, but say to abane December.
No, and I remember the contract no you my contract no mine no. Na ka Kofo 1 year.
Yeah.
That's the whole point.
Exactly. Over a year because March 2007, March 2008 was 1 year, but if you saw December, January 2009. Yeah. But my point in is said, yeah, because he had to have a later part in 2008. Yeah, 7 December.
2009.
Yes.
Yeah. So even if the contract was awarded in 2007 and Kufuor didn't have enough time because it was awarded under Kufuor, why didn't the next government continue? Why didn't the next government continue and get the project executed? Say a new be a sign contract and I say, oh, and on I Marichu. Then Ghana Gold in the court almost you did for me my judgment debt.
Yeah,
judgment debt. There be a judgment debt. Yes, you cancel contract we you be signing contract independent to me and fulfilling a part of the deal there. What we do and say a re-evaluation of the project. Me the sikani dia ka ho. Unim the intia because a hono na amount for so be commission attitude free. And then I consign contract na ya oblige contract ni dia. Then people take us on, and then we go to court, and we are awarded huge sums of judgment debt to pay. Yeah. But contractor said, no, the reason being given, sir, the contractor was sick. Doesn't even make sense.
Mm-hmm.
If it, you're the company, and a year Juma. Okay, so we tender an application for a contract, and the contract is awarded to the person. And you nipano na year Jumano.
Yeah.
And then call for the so if the contractor was sicker, which company won the tender?
Mm-hmm.
Who was the owner of that company? And if one contractor is sick, the whole government machinery is telling us to say they couldn't even re-award the contract to anybody from 2007 till now, and they couldn't hold the contractor or the company that won the tender accountable. It is a say Ghana ni esika I bet me dey before from. From 1 million on your sign could share almost 8 million. The same project now 1.7 no. You could share 8.7 7.8.
1.4 they cost 7.9.
1.4 and I could do 7.9. If you want to say we can't say I'm penning for no almost they are not good managers of the economy. President Kufuor awarding this contract in 1.4. Now 1.4 I was looking at the pictures at Joy. Say a dime.
Yeah,
what I said.
The house.
Yeah.
Rehabilitation
a lot.
And new
rehab. I said renovation.
Renovation, yeah.
Yeah. And why couldn't we do it? Now, President Kufuor over a year in rehab, and then Mahama Mills spent say 8 years. And then Akufo-Addo comes. After Akufo-Addo, and the Aji Wuska very pathetic. We shall for Mama a Dutch in Asia, Yabrabu, Panian to you. Now, on my the one penny policy, the enemy be some said. So just look at this from 1.4 to 7.9. Ubisa who say omo nkasa sika emfa say omo company and omo put up such structure sika no wa award to another company it ka 1.4 million ko betimi atena wa ma scanner raise could do 7.9 million. Oh Manucho I can show uti audios and now pe obe program no teasers no ba kwa na obona na do kan e kan say meba adwuma ma ye bia meto aso. That is what we need. But on those cancer no buy and you ask yourself what was so.
Why be mom? Why be?
No, you tell me now okay. I can even point to you Ashanti region. Some military hospital away.
Affair military hospital one.
Why be?
Landmark ones. I don't have Monday come and help our landmark ones. Landmark say because I know airport in Kosovo.
Why you do look at what kind of King Kalunja there? Why you be?
Oh, let me say, maybe the Sir President, who say, Sir President, so Sir Project now, the Moma, no band, no, on my phone. Okay, but once an annual, so better some of more communicators, no, or more cocoa EB, cocoa commission project, and Omaka, Mahama, no mocha. Me fit baby.
No,
communicators will say, I do money, Mama, and all about those kind of stuff. And I'm say, Mama, and Bayer, Cranamity, I don't come, Mama, and Bayer, send your Mama Ska, Ghana Ska, and she say, oh, no, but trust no, yeah. That's all.
Some communicate the factory change, Mama, no Cadiana, and Pessimist.
Communicators, Nick, make one of the. No, I'm not, I know what I'm
just trying to say, Mama, only can go could be in the country, no Vanya project. Ghana is cannot there. But my point is, we need a government, a president who will come. Nobody who says, Nanado hasn't done enough. Nanado hasn't. This project per se, no, and then Nanado fault. Because on one now is a project, but I'm just saying, sir, a problem, continual problem, with successive government. We back the way I go no a we back the way once a housing project as some year came. A started Kufoso, okay. Kuford Edio you go or free swap, Mama mobile. Oh my Janning go. And same thing with President Kufado Subai, the Mahama. Even a idea and an Omukaso mobile beton, a sub project defense.
Saglemi.
Housing project. Yeah, I wouldn't say so maton.
Oh, maton, I say, dear.
Man for Castle Moya. I'm with Cecilia Opa. Anybody who has SKF number for SKF Nibisano, he sent me a video or call Kofo housing project. No, where he down. Yeah, he sent me a video. Making a point.
Example. So say, so what on the line.
No, my point I'm making is the point I'm making is Sir, I deal with when I enter by Miniano. I was saying, Jai, until I told our man for seeing a national development plan.
Yeah,
because the national development plan and a program will be about overhead no disonoye. And you might get general on Sadia Aqua. Now, a lunch Martin can say about bear factories are a criterion. Again, amount for sorry, a derivactino. I'm say Commander Sugar Factory, who buy which me a day. Which man running? Commander Sugar Factory, Mama, which one I should do, Nanado kind, and my inmate, so why not should you know, but why not should you know, will be a successive government. Government is a continuum process. Into be a factory, so why mistake, Nelson Koya should answer. Why yet, no Wababa should ye, not the nighting, not yet Juma, not yet to us, so that it will benefit the masses and the populace. So, somehow, simple project is here. Omaton dear Bakoyami some sent me a Omoton Bako I think I've forgotten the price. So he sent me the video with the price. Omoton 2-bedroom flat. Some is Omoton. I cried the so will be there and this 6 months crying in Asa. Omatoning in a so it's a thing say a very sad episode of our history as a country. Say there be a project the way back Mama me Kalusha say Nanado Ayubino. Nanado hasn't done some. This is another Mahama project or yeah, no beya, and go a year more because me and Kasa
that's why what put you on the line. May back catch say this yeah me only NDC communication director no Kumasi October 20th 2022. Your friend no dinner bus. Now the commission 330 kV transmission line Kumasi and a sister bed Konongo District Hospital. Okay, say it was a handiworks of the NDC. So that's what I'm telling you, sir. Some of them try, but it's not all that they have done.
KV Omunye and town defending Omunye KV transmission line now can an electrical project. So that is different. But a car housing project, I look at me, I'm Chrome ne Pacoso. That's what I'm talking. When I talk, I have a practical examples to back
what I'm also catch on say, as my mention catch on say, this is NDC communicators, sir. Now the communication, my mama. I mean, we have to declare. No,
and make a case.
I'm not making a case.
I don't care about NDC. How many points? How many?
Hold on. As one person catch and say, when the projects are there for the next government to do, we should stop tagging the say NDC before they start here, every before they start here. I'm
don't go there. Okay, and I only my own pick minds and the best animal. And now you're president. Now so can say commission my Akufo-Addo. Everyone say Akufo-Addo leads whoever comes in. Everyone say this as about by this for the can say. Oh, Akufo-Addo Nija Winti, Minya. Now you don't even deserve to be president. Now kita myopic mind. Akufo-Addo better kunyano so the secretary achim na de better kunyano so. Ana ordinary Ghanaians they say many taxpayers money and odi bi bu o man no. Nti na wo start on na make say hono kwa de kalu jama omo average minds should be talking like that. So NDC ni na Akufo-Addo atwa Mahama project is no commissioner ga say Mahama na yeah. Mahama didn't come to government with his own money. Every project they do it on behalf of us and they use our money. Intina America said there are a lot of projects. Put him say nano agenda 111. Yeah, find out what has happened to agenda 111. It's agenda 111 away. Meanwhile, there were so many hospitals. Mahama, yeah. We see a bit where Chile will say, and how does the country expand? Kroma ukwa Krebia say Krebia on a hospital, Krebia on a police station, Krebia independent will be for anything social amenity. And to some crony and crow expanded. It is all yay, but it says I say must a coin you. Independent Sidana, a coin where then a building material score. If you are only a coin if the roads are untarred, you tar the roads. You also trust free. That is how the country can develop. So by the most flimsy excuses say, and I'm a Mahama and I go for the start here. That and look at young mind penny for and he said no bomb with him. So your president, you don't even have to think so be because I'm Mahama and start here to me yet. And Pastor, you don't even deserve to lead us. That's my whole point I was making. Say communicators need more grassroots to need one for the journalists. If you are up there as the manager of the economy, number one personality of the land, now so journalists are there, then you don't even deserve to lead us. My whole point is say you're paying for no. Say almost project on behalf of us. Almost million kakra senka you almost sika kasano mubeye no ana for a project that was estimated to cost us $1.4 million. I could do almost $8 million. Up then, fluctuating over so over 500% to 600% too. That is just too much. That's my whole point. Successive government projects.
Manijo, 700. 1 point. I could do 7 points. Yeah, 700%.
Exactly.
Yeah. 700% increment. That's just too extravagant and too extreme. The way I say Sika and then I watch it, you see DDEP anya Ghana collapse because you manage and you may Sikana yet president no tesono ono ani butum sika the company sika abrenya enti omo ya no anso omo ye just so they can get some money to chop. I so say I know ni ade ba akwa from now Manichu Kalusha ye nyina was a see my any bound. Say ye Akufo-Addo neteso, say ye Alan Samati neteso, say ye Mahama neteso, say ye Baumia neteso, say Kennedy Japan neteso, say ye Dr. Dufo neteso, whoever is in government, Ghana for say hold this anyone accountable say Ekufadu project a woja wako say whoever comes no say making sure say Mahama project a oja hoko na ano Nana don't me any Ronaldo there oja wako ni nyina whoever comes should make sure say obey ni nyina ansana infrastructure na hospital schools or maybe all the account because until then ya koje mo say the ya koje 3 billion na ya beto ogumurem we ba no eja ho say enyame na starting entimi nye because me ya NDC for MPP for because enyame na start here that thing has to be out of our thinking as leaders of the economy na yen shisheye. I'm very sad that this building that was supposed to cost us 1.4 is now costing us almost $8 million. Very, 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 very sad and very pathetic story.
Okay, upon a channel, children can upon your better see pa. I beg for young call your Modiana, young call National Cathedral, and said Semno. Now for you, the MPP4, Semno so a tattoo. Manicho, remember so briefly, now National Cathedral, Kufo Foundation, Professor Jimendria. Or the Sembia to just say, some project in there, nine consent come here. Man, confer the work to a nimono. Omi the paramo, respect your mupana, a hard drink. And okay, Joyce I. Yeah, Miss Joyce I. Joyce I. Or the also another twist. Joyce Recruitment here. Also another twist. Abamuse. Yeah. Project no. Abai mom seed money be. And as uncle for 13 or power mono. Or more than me and say, Mobe Pesca. Dear see Dan. Oh, a discapot ya de share in mudi omukra de onukra onim saskano. So, and assign ababium say, Keno Furata, okay, Furata yai. The Oko vessel quay, I am a fee. Also say a danny dear, Kianiki, Yebesi. Manicho, can send me a say a bomuna, Afi, Yanko, Nanko, Nafi, Yafa, 5 minutes. Yeah, na for you na for young people before the na for phone lines in my
I think Miss Joyce I mean formerly Mrs. Joyce Rekubrobi I mean she's been in the public space for a long time. I mean Mekai Pase she's one of the pioneers of Moyewe. Yes sir GHS na JSS yes sir trying to contain ade nyina she was one of the pioneers. I mean she was containing Kantenkwan. Oh, so in public school at Adien. She was, yeah, as soon as Katenkwana said, yeah, she was one of the pioneers. That time she was in educational space. Yeah. I mean, under Rollins, NDC time. Yeah, so she was one of the major players. And around 4 times, so we Mines, Chamber of Mines, CEO. Yeah. That time, and then we form a doctor. I mean, so she's well known. At a point in time, married Mr. Rekubro, Dr. Rekubrobi, became Mrs. Rekubro, Joyce Rekubrobi, but now divorced and back to the original name. Very respected. I gave background for her for people to know that for more than 30 to 40 years, she's been one of the high-ranking opinion members in the country. She's one of the 13 member trustees. You see, the more you hear things about this cathedral, the more what's the here then your teeth grind. The more you feel like grinding your teeth. Yeah, grinding your teeth. I mean, it doesn't help. Say, we've read articles, so I must say, you're moved for a board of trustees, and architects, I mean, that is the norm they want us to believe, that the board of trustees are the ones in charge of everything. Government only provided the land and some seed money. Then I remember Opo even asking me the seed money in the Mekai. Let me say, and yeah, 10 million was said, but even a member of the trustees says she doesn't know how much was government gave her seed money. Cathedral Bakwe Basi shrouded in a lot of secrecy and mystery. I think it's becoming, very dangerous and sudden and unheard of. I mean, every day new stories pop up and it's worse than the previous one. And for her to come out and say that they don't even know how much government put in it, and even the escalating price. What I don't understand is that some of them in there, Professor Marty, Dr. Nina, they've kept quiet and they're trying to fight the status quo. You see, with time, quality will rub on quality. Truth, you can never, no truth can ever suppress, and no lie can ever suppress the truth, because it's revealing. You might think that she just said it, but someone, they are supposed to be the custodians. I mean, the Alpha and Omega when it comes to the project. I'm not telling you that government has only made them sympatheny. they've just handpicked some few notable people in society, but they are running the show behind it. What kind of this book, The Pelican Briefer? It's a very good example of it. I might say firm say a law firm, but unknowingly it's a mafia gang or that is what is being replayed for me. Because if she comes out to say some of these things, it is serious that she doesn't know the seed money the government puts in it. And even sometimes I want them to even talk about the design and all these things, because it helps the discourse. That is what they had problem with him, because at the end of the day, what for a trustee member, project 100 years, 200 years. You see, we are creating history today. 20, they become as say 50 years from now and 100 years from now, both of us might not be alive. People might be watching us and be seeing some of these things. Some guys say, hey, to say na no mere radio. How were they able to? I mean, we've seen some gadgets. Hey, now when was then they're not no more brepa. I remember Papa old pictures be the trousers no. Ya pa mafia na no na ekese. But no secondary school some boys in your nika na domo. I mean, it is time. I'm only using some of these examples to tell you that we are writing our history today. Whatever you are doing today, Washington, Abraham Lincoln, they were like us, sitting and having way. But I never can say 1482, 1842, near the end they were alive. But it feels like a centuries away. I'm saying this because this a cathedral might stand. There are cathedrals there, and you see you. Serious answer, and then Uncle talk about it. Maybe Ghana decided to do its own today. Abrochina mom cathedrals near there, but and yet Nasem, 1800s, no music cathedrals. But yet dear we know it's shrouded in a lot of way. The manuscripts will be dominant. Why are sorry penny? What are sorry near them managing? And then if history picks up a book and see most of this unassailable corruption, that's within Taiwan. How will you feel? I think that is where we should be getting to. People like Miss Joyce Ayinade, and they should start talking. I mean, I'm gonna aglo near the name, say no mudimu akotina near there. They made you this one, but at the end of the day, every blessed day, sorry, say if you consider animal ban, it doesn't really help the system. As for Ken Oforiatta, I don't say I found a year Oforiatta as we managing director of ADB.
Oh, sir.
Just yesterday. Oh yes.
Why no?
No Oforiatta, Ken Oforiatta yere. She's been elevated to the status of managing director of Africa Development Bank by Akufo-Addo. I mean, she might be qualified for it, but it's still news. I wouldn't sit here and say that people don't deserve. Maybe some of the utterances that your family and friends, and it comes back to your hunters that, I mean, your own cousin's wife. I mean, life is good. Life is good on heaven on earth. He coming out to say that, I mean, he sees it as authenticity of rituality, that the project needs to be completed. He sees it as a matter of urgency. You see, sometimes the conscience that they don't have, that is why they allow people to talk to them. Some people insult, and I say some of us, and we stand aloof for it. You are cutting the hair of old men. Oh, babomo, what you want to touch their bonds? You want to touch their bonds? You want to touch their fixed deposits? Almost suicide challenge their future savings, and it can even turn them to early grave. What's the still may? So Nyakupo it's a God of confusion. I think he does things for us to liberate us. Obi fanya mesuma wa fadepa. Intanka, I saw you feel liberated. Nunya and for some kwa. There will be hard times anyway, but I don't think that Christianity, another religion, abhors common sense. That baby you do know. If you need a car, I mean it's a long-term project. There are some cathedrals that was built in 50 years. Unless of course one someone said send your corner there, ye fiswa in Guasiaba, you could bubu adina, echo 2 mining pits. I'm told one of the most expensive pits in Africa is in Ghana. You took from $30 million. So it becomes the most expensive pit ever to be surfacing in West Africa, if not the whole of Africa. Then you are continuously soft-spoken but very punchy. That's we sit here now. You see it as a spiritual exercise that Senipe Kumkwa just advisedly in the Ebesi Cathedral and Ebesi near commission to satisfy who's whim and caprice. I mean, they should start when Oforiatta says some of these things. I just cringe, just like Obukom Banko Beka, because this is a man. Last I gave you a scenario. What could you know? He named him say on to mention unity and Pamano. Uncle 1 month's time, you baby can me a man a second wife. I can't say take a second wife and go and you say when the first one Uncle 98 MPs na didn't see and you still kept the man. And you see, somebody gave me an interesting analogy that Ghana, we are heading for doom. You are careful because you know why. This is a man who drove us into a ditch. You want to repose confidence, people to bring their monies and stuff into it. How can that same bus driver now when to man vacating the KFC not share ditching? Most on 1 year and no near proper road so. Psychologically, it doesn't boost our confidence.
Okay.
So Manucho Tiasi and also Manucho said no yeah then they won't peg big. We said yeah, you face can be shema. Now the side is kind of premier. Psychologically, it doesn't boost our confidence into the system. Nobody what a sort will put money into the Ghanaian economy, knowing very well that this same man is the one day. And then they had to give haircuts, a bank restructuring. Everything has gone to zilch, ground zero, worse than everything. So I'm particularly sad when it comes to these things. I think the Kufuor angle, they are better late than ever. Maybe they started speaking that you know what, yeah, it's a foundation. Before foundation, man, like I say. I mean, the more you hear about this cathedral, the more you feel that somebody should get itself properly screwed to the neck. It looks like a bit more loose screws to be. It's not really arguing well for the country. And I think from what kind of writer it's something people stood in the stand to vote for change to get to ameliorate, improve lives in Tinomoye. But it looks like day in day out, the worst is what you hear. This cathedral, when Sia will have it will hell come to Ghana, and now will God put us in a doldrum for life, an abyss for life. I think it's high time they start reasoning. Okay. Mistakes in our baby, we need to go forward, leave this cathedral and do the weightier matters. One day. So assuming that's admitting people say Mama ban 1 year, I'm sure people will come back one day. They will have enough money to complete for you. Why do it dolly before you leave?
Because like I say scenario Atames 2009
yeah
oba where you know who say Yachimota my 7
yes
now overpass no
yeah
you never complete here for you know Atames no acknowledge you know that's what we want
N1 na so
that's what we need as a country you know
so
we yeah now we have better so
then you acknowledge
you not acknowledge but you now have to target say
but because you don't have time because it's silly just like Opoka you know it's neither here nor there. I mean, with the MPP, NDC saying CNA status is dead on arrival, but they know you are dealing with human beings who are easily convinced that. So, no, so any day, he will go and stand in a village somewhere and say that, Munchama, the for MPP, bomb, yeah, now number 2 until they came to do nothing. Affordable as Uncle for you, MBDC and Twasso, number starting a saglem, and number saglem, and on Jacko for the sometimes it's a whole murky situation, but we hope that one day
schools are almost started. There were D block or
exactly, yeah, E blocks by for day secondary school.
I assess not quite nearby. The place where you see a IMF now you quite a haircut in a
we need a blueprint. We need a national development plan. So about power and that's we can say I will not follow the national development plan. Yeah, it's also a choice.
It's a constitutional mandate.
Exactly. Say ni ashishe opa bana can say oh this is the plan. Yes. I will continue. I will not continue. It's also a choice.
That's right.
Then people will vote for you. Reason why sometimes
you cry a referendum maybe you were Friday you were
friend. We shouldn't vote for you. The reason why I tell people that so assume it's a first for the first round then say cathedral was one can or start here winning the second one not start cathedral
no start here
2020 and start cathedral
I'm not by your second time
no cathedral has always been there cathedral there 2018
okay.
What is a cathedral starting? No, cathedral.
I don't know. So now, fire cracker on the Twasso.
I draw big chum Susie here. No.
Every time, no.
Time. No, I can crack Tamaso. Yeah, you pick a call.
And then I say, I manage you time here.
So,
Kaluka me the count is a wholesome the cathedral. The whole week, I think we've been talking about cathedral, but it becomes more even disheartening when you have people like Bafo Ajimendia talking. Uti Bafo Ajimendia interview on XYZ TV no. As all can say say project say nka asofo for men of integrity clergy and nka omo hwa project no nanka ahyenya mien munyam no utie an interview now, say it seems that people are deciding for them. And and they decided, even though you form a board of trustees, you say, "Kaumuna, share a binary seed mania, no raise sika, and common fancy cathedral." Inti so be see diamanyame, no one see no quarry quinso. No man, you memoir, nanyami fimpo, are supposedly can oforiata say ono the spirituality di. Inti spirituality authentic, inti National Cathedral. Na maybe say spirituality no ubi akase onjin this spirituality real ana spirituality ho but say we see National Cathedral one wow say your personal pledge there is also for fellow with your personal money and also the buying sika kakra be kan be ma asase na wa seed money but baby aye kono ehona ye koya na on say uti ma of mami na obekasa na o si National Cathedral no seed money aban edema omonumpo omunnim seed money no they don't know board of trustees no omuso omunnim how much the government is giving the seed money ni biba decisions you can clearly know say that is why I was with Heward Mills. Say, Sabine for say a political project and promiser. Any ONFA committee identified by the government so that when people like us have our questions Yamanon Simu say project near non-governmental project and a non-profit project because from the trustees Nankasano who say a man is about Kalunim Diama me different version of men who say Ghana is a dangerous. And they say so suffer for to me echo to leadership behind Ghana your coincha. And ka mind dia or what Timamufo Kasa Nanka president and those in authority in na omumua nka the clergy are the only people they speak on authority because of integrity, honesty, and dignity, and kasa and carry weight. Emma, whoever is in government is shaky. Okay, Professor Marty him no and when Mahama was in power, or say it is only the clergy that can speak and shake the foundation of this country. But when himself Professor Marty is who come board of trustees, my own former moderator. So, I am very pathetic. The question I'm asking is, so minor kwakudu tibia said the Professor Jimendia Eka say clergy Nankasakra is being dictated to by the sitting government, by authorities there. And the question I'm asking is, koya and I say, buy. Can you say commentaries me wa?
I
wajai, ukaso yache.
Me commented this, yeah.
Ukaso yache na mi bisana mbi akanse. Okay. No mi bisa so kai kwanya John the Baptist. The first one eternity.
Me kai pa. Ohima me baba na esa. E no say ohina bisa say there were no pe. No ka so pe John the Baptist in eternity.
Ba wunim de ntia ma akola no bisa de ntia o ka so pe John the Baptist no.
Minim.
Ni ma me na catch because na John the Baptist resent ni ma me na ware. And John the Baptist was the only one who was able to tell King Herod, say, the Oyana, Sebi and Kwasiasem. If men of faith into me and speaking truth to power, and now echo to, you know, how can you be made board of trustees? Someone a motion project and also NGGC because Reverend Ayi Obano, right? Also, they were made to understand, say, government bema seed money. Now, map basically a 12 project and so. But nim seed money crap by the non so it is very particular. You have finance minister or say debt exchange program. Ghana be crash, Ghana be collapse. Still saying, say we can find money. Once I say we can find money outside government too. Manicho, did you read his statement?
Exactly.
We can find money outside government to build the National Cathedral. So why can't he find money outside IMF to build Ghana? to build Ghana. Now for pensioners, sika ne individual bondholders sika ma on say yem penim for no betena konya so a omo priorities omo woni omo no pese omo ye enye de beboa Ghana for and the beboa timam for and prophet 1 e kan say bi o say nti aban won ye de beboa timam for kakra. They don't think about us. If you think that you can find a way. Na National Cathedral in any case now mo start here na mo ka say nya ban sika mo voice mo dia ban sika mo say nya ban sika no. Na che say money plan bia mo di ba be si dan no. Na wo dia sha so fofo nso nsa. Munja mo no mo nya adwuma na mo sign decide ma mo who should be the architect, who should be this. Your foundation $30 million. Ya koya na e ba na so fofo nso akoto sika mo benya bia nti. Into Ghana, you didn't if the men nanka, only last resort anka, I did it for another, and the Omani in our trash, Christopher, Omujana, Miana, Musha, the Manicho, a shepherd, no, Uncle Omun, a Becassa, a catcher, those in authority. Said this thing is wrong, this thing is not right, you know. And idea, if you could say allegations, if you could double idea, and this Hippocratic statement about say, Papa no response, no, the Bayano. Very embarrassing and very weak.
Yeah.
Reverend Kusibwate a response or the band. That's why the other day I was saying said Ukuje to black.
Oh, you're not run up why? You're not run up.
Me point na me say am. Ko na outside drag me see ni me wie kra. E na me dey finish. Ukuje to black kwa small can say we say nan kan so be fight in the back say enye no kra ba o say I me cooperate with Shraj me seeking redress in court. I think say baby ayedru no Ghana baby ayedru no e wo set mamufu nyina sorry ne kasa because o man no bi antumi nyama yen say amayeni anya dey na ya nkyere ya dwe na ya nkasa na ya involved in the national building yet ho say ye shemra na se wo so nyansani uyi hu film na nkohye bia sebi o nkwasiafo be shamra na so nyansani no baba be den baba be di so. It is about time we all get involved in the national agenda. Na yemma yempen fonu se enye me bi omu ye no enye mo ba wan ni se mo be ni ya mo focus na mo nyini na mo nyai mo myopic thinking as opposed to national interest no. Kalu to aso.
All right, we put on shout in kanu. Emanu with the time in the call by summarizing my on hearing to say the MP before your mother and one here the Omeko position said 2008 no Omeko position and now signed by Omia and send seven Samba say Baumia no very member and on no man Quenya and that so Abante Baku say friend Sylvester Tete so say do Alan so and Kennedy Japan okay
Sylvester Tete
MP okay. And Canadian Japan say they are Benjamin Mana or the five regions, not a regions, and they are farm place with me. They are feeding the whole Ghana, the whole of Africa. Manage to 2 minutes and 3 minutes now for your focus.
I think going to the end is just to corroborate. I mean, people have really been under.
Isn't it funny?
Hey,
all the five regions they feed the whole of Africa. So you ask yourself, Kennedy that not to know
exactly, and northern regions, but just so said then no no you see they feed the whole Ghana.
There are farm places they say.
Yeah, the 5 northern regions. The 5 northern regions.
And farm place.
Now from place fine, but northern regions in India. Say there's a Bolgani idea, you know, feed Ghana. Maybe rice farming there, but the truth is that it's a bit far fetched. Sometimes you see, let's be serious with ourselves for once. So we feed the whole Africa. You see, I like him because he's very practical in some of the things that he's saying. Sometimes book long for no more see microeconomics and social blah 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 and add also. We need somebody who is practical to really solve African problem. Needs practical solutions rather than book na yes China. If Facebook na dey from UK, sometimes they don't even help. Conditions na dey different. Cause I say na dey call Ghana. Sometimes from where they need thermostat. Sometimes Africa maybe they even need a thermostat in a car because it can really do this thing. I think it's a bit laughable. I mean, I wish you could tell me more, but he's getting over ambitious more than himself.
Talking about industrialization.
Satan Ben Necrobenian supporters. It should be realistic. School in ABA say you can't use 5 regions and a farm place to feed the whole Africa, Ghana and Africa. What are you talking about? I mean, anyway, he's getting over ambitious, but I mean, those who fall for it, fine. I like him for certain things because about shooter, I say trust anyway. One is proving, one is unproven. just no mudrick, but save that in a day. He sometimes or kind of crazy. Say I go into IMF near the end of year, papa. Let me rush to. Or he told the end of the day. I mean, I think it's just what has happened to players like because they showed face. It is happening to them. I don't know about kind of deal, but it also come there. MP say I do allow. Sometimes people want to be truthful and they were born before 2007 and they know what happened. Man, no cry no MPP. Yeah, they somebody's whim. The current presidential candidate, you know, you force it any way. I could for patcha man say your man away so no ejuma. We also miside the money per corner. Sometimes we should be truthful to ourselves for once. I as much as the more I hear, the more I'm getting those emotional to that point. That what reality should be. People should start telling the truth and reality in the people's faces. We will remember within a space of when it was being done to you 2008, we saw how vociferous people were. Sometimes people might say that you are taking sides too early, but sometimes said the way things are going, it doesn't look too good. But at least BMW, I'm bidding a party. No, they are thinking through. But I think I agree with you that victimizing people is not just the way. You don't just victimize people. Let people. That is the beauty of democracy. I mean, leave it to the ballot of the conscience of the people. But you victimize people because they are not supporting Baumia. But after you want to unite them to win elections, they should be careful with Ashanti region. Early days yet, but they want more corner. Or more careful. Ashanti region, there will be mutiny. That's a mutiny so bad. That's the World Bank. NDC, MPP, hope in Ashanti region and Eastern. In kind they will pick or metaphor. But Ashanti, we are population census and voting patterns now. They have to deliver more than 70% to you, to 80%. If they give you anything less than 80%, you can't be president. So they need to start. Even spoke about you are the one supposed to hold elections, but you are there. What campaign manager for one candidate, but you know very well that you are the regional chairman too. Who does that? It needs a lot of talking to. Rather than a contaminating that's not engaged in way. People's conscience should not be bought. They should let the system run. And yes, they will get a bigger problem eventually. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Manichu. Oppo?
Hello?
Yes.
I'm a sniper. So I think that MPP people should be careful. Where they are make only in two now into former general secretary. And I want to say, Papa Wina, I'm not Japan by an interview now, or can I say, Oma Baumia Weavan.
Yes. Ono
intuition from the horse's own mouth. Ono answer narrative story nina said another kuyi Baumia no a man Weavan ade. Indeed, that goes a long way to tell. Until now, no Japan said Baumia so often show political career as even the second gentleman of the land. Party Nabuao. It's a man for more can say someone for Baumia Anqua. So we are Bank of Deputy Governor of Bank of Ghana, Kalusha Mibiso, as now be Vice President of the Republic of Ghana. Position of the INS.
No vice, no.
Vice Mudian. Send me
second vice of the land. Second gentleman of the land.
It's here now, man, for Kase. MPP has rather helped Baumia because now you move your organ and Tinidinda until Nanado selected him. It's in the slogan say when you use what dampono, people should cut it off. Because I'm not saying that Baumia shouldn't contest because I would be aspired to go higher in life. While vice and in this way president. But that slogan say MPP for be use one dampono. We are deputy governor or Bank of Ghana, not be a vice president, a whole vice president officer. And your position kitwa what I say. So I think say na quick one on division now. Your friend is say Omoka Wasem. Only to Ghana is after no MP or MPP. The Oka say nobody should tell you say Alan's time no. Or MPP. Kalusha MPP Omo according to the MP no say Omo one and the facts and they say Edubo and Koe and Kufo by ne yesi ni move it ne do nanado so na nanado the man nanado na make key pronouncement say me kwa Alan una do so and people feel say but that is to those who are supporting Alan maybe they may feel say like I said yesterday the democratic process should be allowed to work in the two parties, NDC and MPP. Whoever wins as the flag bearer, now I rally behind the person. But I never acquire the divisiveness now started by MPP. And on a actually say only Baumia fans. Say yes, who public sector, civil servants now get a position. Now only Baumia fan now will be unko cape na pamwe through Jum. Said you know him to Okano. I think that is what is dangerous for the MPP because Alan NPP ni and Baumia MPP ni Alan CPP and QRP. What I say, and if somebody is supporting Alan and for that matter, the MPP is treading on dangerous ground. The democracy, what is another word you be initially who started program now can then can catch a mahama, no catch in crash system so okay.
Yes.
Initially. Yeah. Oh, Nanado was campaigning. He was saying, "Say, yeah, but what now? We say, and these are the things that ever creep into the MPP. They should be very, very careful, King Kalu, as I leave you to pick your course, because sadly we and the divisiveness, but now we are a cracky party, no. Whoever is elected flag bearer, bringing everything on board becomes a problem. In Tomusheni, Baumiane Alan, Omina MPP for will be support to Baumia, will be support to Alan, but at the end of the Congress, then they forge together as one party and fight for the power. But if this is what is going to happen, they're dangerous. Canada, Japan should be careful. He should be guarded by Kufuado and send the Brida or Kaya, one to Mianye. He should be guarded. Sikano Wahe, yet is Sikaso, so come the Jumbo to me by Juma. Dinas, our path needing a Canada, Japan starting. Also, Suma, his quest to be president, into saying things that he cannot do. A lot of people respect him for his honesty, for his energy, and his transparency. Anyhow aggressive or sometimes on his own party. But his quest to be president of the land shouldn't lead him into saying things that he cannot materialize, he cannot do when he becomes president, because at the end of all can achieve, but can he do it? That is also another thing, sir, or the place. It is CD Ghana, as he did the whole of Africa. It is too ambitious and overly ambitious. I think that he should slow down. And on can and a specific and measurable, attainable and achievable. Kalu,
oh, thank you so much, Opona Shama. What's in Kano? But Trafe, my program, Yamudiano, I do so. My call line is Sudan Kofa, wow, no, my 3909. Now, now
announce phone lines, no, we start for the say. As a lines, we had the Ghana for Ghana phone in line that the entire phone number, no, so who be a line and no number, no, so we start for this before. I don't know.
Mati, okay. All right. Hello. No money. +1508 304 9394 +1508 304 9394 and no Ghana no now I say 508 304 9394 Patrol no money 3909 no una do so man call
Nana Ojam pesa then can't you put a I will draw one information center information center so I bear me and so move and they are to be radio. I will draw up a zone through your information center. There's a station area. Which I'm not treated, I'm not equal to Mr. Kujuk 24. Now, Mr. Urunia for John Alan for Joe Chamatin. Ghana food in Ghana food in Aquadu. Now, Chinkalo and I send you a Ghana. What it?
Bio, catch me.
Sure, I'm almost on Casino. All they say will be Obia or more BMW. We are not the cab, I mean, the tongue or the car on a man for Sereno. Can't go to Briaman for the Roman Subian. ABM can and William Coffum. BMW say and William Article pass and credit. Obia TB now and I'm friend. If they were all to Tom Kazi, yes, again, I so dear to the BMW. And then, yes, again, Nana can't suffer for them. Ghana, how Kwana suffer Kotadia, or say receipt in Montima Metro. As you mean,